home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. On a Tuesday, Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. We have Nate Littlefield behind the glass for us today, and Carmichael Dave finally left the studio as we had some fun with Carmichael Dave, and we're going to have some fun on this show today, Chris.
Yes.
All between the lines. Okay, look, I'm a newer guy here. All right. What how long have we been doing the show, Chris?
That's a great question. I think it's been 6 or 7 months, right?
6
is
or
that,
7
is that
months.
right?
6, and
you would know better, probably.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So October 26th was our first show.
What a great day.
And look, at the end of the day, the one thing that you can't create is time, right? Some things just take time.
Yep.
And
the best things take time.
The best things take a lot of time. So, I've thought about this, and I've thought about, how we can continue to improve the show and be a staple here in Sacramento. And, at the end of the day, all you want to do is make sure that it's about you.
Mm-hmm.
And, Dan Hurley said it best before UConn went on to go back to back. He said, get us now. Get us now, because you're not going to be able to get us in a little bit. Hasn't even been a year.
Quote.
Hasn't even been a year. Not even close to a year, really.
No.
We have friends that have had multiple jobs in the span of 7 months. Okay, a lot can happen in 7 months, but you can't teach time. And at the end of the day, as the late great Nicolas Cage once said, it's time for a national treasure. Chris Watkins, how you doing?
You just killed off Nick Cage, man. What is going? Doing good, man. Yeah, it was nice to not have any sports on yesterday. Definitely still had some entertainment though. It was definitely an interesting day yesterday without anything going on. Still felt like there was a whole bunch happening, and excited to get these conference finals going, and just get the week continuing, man. It feels like it's only been one day, and it feels like it's already been a week. So
I'll tell you this
looking
much.
forward to it.
So, again, as we continue this conversation and just about the group and the show and everything as a whole, I got to say that, good things do come in time, because I'm going to my first Sac Republic game
Really?
tonight.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going.
Oh, those are a blast.
Yeah, and I'm going because, thanks to Carmichael Dave, kind of hooked it up. So I'll be doing some in-game hosting on Saturday. So I'm going to the game tonight to check it out.
Gotcha.
And then, and talk to Connor Sutton.
Yeah.
And
Connor's big time.
Yeah, and Scott. And then on Saturday, we're going to be, I'm not nervous.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's a good opportunity.
It's a
yeah,
something,
for sure.
Something.
I'll tell you, not trying to add to your nerves. I'm trying to turn the nerves into excitement. Like, those games are popping. They're really, really fun. And I would just say, feed off the energy. I know you definitely have a great energy to you. And, I know soccer probably isn't your first sport, but I think that you're perfect for a role like that, and I'm sure it's many to come.
Many to come. So yeah,
not really much better ways you can spend a weekend in Sacramento than watching either Sac Republic or going to a River Cats game during the summer.
Yeah,
pretty elite.
And it's going to be a big game tonight as they take on the San Jose Earthquakes. So
really,
excited,
nice.
Excited to check.
Those are John Fisher's team, right?
Well, it's part of the U.S. Open Cup.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, so they're playing the big squad today.
So this is going down tonight. So like we said, there is.
Yeah, we got bigger and better things.
Yeah, there are areas where you could use your energy, but we're just using our energy on growing,
just trying to
thrive,
and
getting bigger and getting better. And that's exactly what the Mavs, the Wolves, the Celtics, and the Pacers are trying to do as they look to capture a championship, and they are the final 4 teams left. So we will break all of that down. Chris, ESPN faced criticism, the 4-letter network did, for their, essentially it was a New York extravaganza on Sunday. And you had Stephen A. putting what he looked like he had Spike Lee, looked like he was giving Spike Lee a noogie.
Did you see they showed his walk-in to the arena?
Oh, yeah.
With the suit, like the man's Russell Westbrook or something like that.
Yeah.
And he did the whole strut, walked around, dapped somebody up. And then, that Spike Lee, that Spike Lee part was weird as hell. That was like, he was doing like a hype up speech for why the Knicks were going to win. The Pacers were directly behind him warming up at the moment. So I was like, what are the odds that like they're just hearing this man scream about the Knicks and how they're going to win and all this New York dominance? And then, Spike Lee's hat falls off like 5 times. It was weird. It was a really weird decision.
It was funny, and I just think they fully counted out the Pacers.
Yeah.
And which was, or they were just trying to will the Knicks to victory. So they are facing a lot of backlash for how they covered it. And, if you're ESPN, I guess the idea is, well, look, we were going to get the most out of it in case they did lose. And they did lose, and now they're stuck with the Celtics and the Pacers. So
could you imagine, though, if they did that with Kings Warriors, how upset people would be? Because that's what I think insane. That this is almost like to try and, make it personal. It's like, the Pacers, Indiana, it's, they love basketball, but it's a, relatively small market. And, you're going against the big bad New York Knicks who, they got Stephen A. always talking, always hyping up every single day on ESPN. And, then to get your biggest game of the year, you're so hyped. I think about everybody who, just for even last year's playoffs, all the groups of people that I knew that were having watch parties at their house, everything, going to bars, whatever, going out, watching the game, and then to have the entire pregame be about the other team and how great the other team is and how this is the biggest moment for the other team. And it's like, well, hey guys, we're here too. And we were the best offense in the, like, we are honestly the funner, the more exciting. Can we just get a 5-minute segment on us? Or you guys are just going to do the entire lead up to our biggest game of the season about the Knicks? This is the big market thing that, you're always so passionate about.
Well, and the whole thing is, that's the person you don't want to do it against, right? So we're going to play a little game at some point during the show of list of guys that you wouldn't want to lose to, right? Because Anthony Edwards is probably on that list. Patrick Beverly, Draymond Green, all those guys are on that list. And I would put Tyrese Haliburton because he's the front runner in a way, and he's going to let you know about it.
Right?
So I would definitely have him on the list. We already have people on this SAC chat. Shout out to the SAC chat asking about who the player will be today as we play this game. This is a mock draft from Bleacher Report. So this guy, how do we do this, Chris? So it's not obvious. His pro comparison is Derek White.
Yeah, that's
he
a good start.
Is a guard.
That's a good start.
And I'm not happy about it. Okay, those are your clues. This is at 12 o'clock. It's Bleacher Report's most recent mock draft. He is a junior guard. Pro comparison, Derek White. And he does not make this will give it away too much. He doesn't make
right. It's the first tease. We got multiple teases left.
Okay, we'll leave it as is for now, but there's one more that's going to make it way too easy. Okay, as we continue to break things down, and Carmichael Dave is back in the studio once again. Dave, just sleep in the dog bed.
Love you.
Just sleep in the dog bed here, Dave.
Look at my shirt.
It's a very nice. It's very nice. We'll also get into a little bit of Michael Malone, who we did not talk about this yesterday, but Michael Malone and what he had to say to a reporter and whether or not it was out of line. If we're going to call out Patrick Beverly, we got to call out the coaches too, and whether or not what he said was fair or foul. Sean Cunningham gets info about the Kings draft as well, per league source. The Sacramento Kings, friend of the show, by the way. The Sacramento Kings met with 10 projected lottery picks during last week's NBA Combine in Chicago. And the interviews included Donovan Clingan, Dalton Connect, let's go, Jared McCain, Alex Sarr, Jacoby Walter, and Cody Williams. I don't see Tejan. Oh, it's because he's in France.
He's in France balling right now.
Zoom to Jean.
Yeah.
Can someone
It's
zoom
happening.
to Jean Salon?
Well, I mean, if they're going to do like they did with Sasha, like you're going to see the whole front office over there.
That's
pretty soon,
right.
You know, watching every single game, every practice of Tajan Salon,
Yeah.
and trying to get him over
For no reason.
for no reason.
Okay.
Yeah, just have him sit on the bench
Just get ready
half
for the
year.
Sasha. Can we talk about the Sasha
songs?
the revenge season
Yeah.
from Sasha
Oh,
that's
yeah.
about to show
It's
up?
like a revenge body or whatever.
Yeah,
a revenge. Yeah, sure, why not?
Mhm.
Sasha's going to come back, and you know, you thought he was crazy last year. He's going to be
Hashtag
flinging that thing.
Unfinished business.
Revenge on who though?
The world.
the haters.
Just, okay,
The
so he.
haters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God.
He's going to
We're all
use they a
Sasha.
lot. They.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. They
Them.
don't
Just say
believe
Nate.
us.
Yeah.
They think we stupid.
I'll be the scapegoat. He could say this is
Yeah,
Nate's fault.
Nate.
Yeah.
I heard what he had to say about Mason Jones.
That's right. And we
I
didn't
could just
forget about
tell
that
what he
either.
thinks about
We
me.
didn't forget about that either, Nate.
Oh.
Yeah. And I said this during the crosstalk. Just driving in today.
Oh yeah,
Who pulls up next to me? Jordan Ford.
Sacramento legend.
But you know, we're on 5, so we're on the freeway.
right.
I didn't
Wanna
want
honk
to.
twice or
Hey, you
something?
want to come on the show? Just follow me. Just follow me to the show. Yeah. So shout out Jordan Ford.
Shout
You
out
know,
Jordan Ford.
Up in the morning, just
Yeah.
grinding.
He
Exactly.
took the 5 in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What's wrong with
What
that?
else would I
yeah.
do?
There's a little secret behind the.
We're talking about garden.
Yeah.
I get on garden
Cool.
later.
Okay.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Ooh,
All
catch,
right.
catch Allen at
Catch Allen
Garden.
on
Catch
More
me,
later.
catch me
Yeah.
on garden. There you go. This is from the 916. Good morning, y'all. You
Good
guys
morning.
have grown on me. I didn't
Wow.
listen for a while, but
Thank
decided to give y'all a listen. Thanks for your perspectives. Keep it up. That is
Thank
from the
you.
916. And trust me, I couldn't make that up if I tried. When we return, Michael Malone, was he out of line? We'll talk about it. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Welcome to the May Springtime Sales Event at Kia of Vacaville. Are you ready for an exceptional automotive journey? We're excited to present to you the pinnacle of automotive excellence, the Kia Telluride. As May unfolds, come explore the remarkable features of the Kia Telluride. Beyond being just a vehicle, it embodies a lifestyle. With its seamless blend of sophistication and practicality, the Telluride is ready to elevate your driving experience to extraordinary heights. Whether you're embarking on a family getaway or navigating busy city streets, the Kia Telluride offers unparalleled comfort and innovation. Moreover, with Kia's unwavering commitment to safety and reliability, you can drive with absolute confidence wherever your adventures take you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Experience the exceptional Kia Telluride firsthand. Visit us today at Kia of Vacaville and take advantage of exclusive offers during the May Springtime Sales Event. Your adventure awaits. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets excellence. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
I'm really trying here.
Okay.
I'm really trying.
Okay.
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 Wha-
Don't even.
Try harder.
No. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
When you
Gosh.
when you want someone to be mad about something,
Uh-huh.
it's pretty easy to make any excuse to say, "Oh, they're definitely mad," right? If you want to annoy someone, like you have a sister,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
I have
Yes.
sisters.
Very.
If
was
you
at
wanted
one
to
point very
annoy
annoying.
someone, right?
Yeah.
And that's your goal, like I want to annoy someone.
Mhm.
And you already have put in your mind
Yeah.
that they will be annoyed either way.
Yeah, confirmation bias for sure.
And then when the payoff happens, they're actually not as annoyed. You still have to tell yourself that, she's hiding it, but she's definitely upset, right? Isn't that a thing?
Oh, she's butthurt for sure.
Right. Yeah. But in reality, are they?
I don't know,
man.
Are they?
No.
No. It's just you told yourself that it was going to annoy you anyway.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I know Michael Malone probably annoyed some people with what he had to say.
He's annoyed.
And he was also annoyed himself. And the question is, was it a dumb question? And was his response warranted? This is what he had to say.
Well, how hard is it just to absorb a loss like this after going ahead by 20?
Next question, man. The season's over. That's what's hard. Being up 20. The season's over. You don't understand that. The season's over. It's hard. Stupid ass questions.
Fair or foul. Woo. The question of just, hey, you blew this lead, and fair or foul, Michael Malone's response.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair question, I think. I mean, whatever. If you want to get into the semantics of the specifics of what exactly he asked, like, okay, was it a perfectly crafted question? Probably not, but come on, man. Like, we all know what the spirit of the question was, and, all these answers are, it's not like Mike Malone is really internalizing the question and giving some poetic answer anyway. He just was upset. That's what happened. That is hurt people, and that's exactly what that is. And I would just say that Mike is clearly upset that his team just lost the series, and that was him lashing out. But I don't think it was an unfair question at all. Like, his team lost by 20, and that needs to be answered for. Right. Like, that had never happened in a game 7 for a team to lose that kind of lead. And, his team is supposed to be super composed, like the most composed, and they completely crumbled. So I don't see how that's an unfair question, but I get that Mike's upset after that loss. But you do. I mean, this becomes the question of the press conferences, right? Like, we obviously went through this earlier this season, a version of this, but it's more just like, does Mike have some obligation to actually play ball when it comes to these things?
Yeah, well, I think the main thing here is you can't get mad. You can't say the season's over, but not want to ask a question about the game that led your season to be over.
Right.
So you're upset that he's asking about the specific game, and you want to have a larger, a big picture conversation. But the reason the season is over is because of what happened in this game.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't, I don't really understand what his issue, like you said, and I don't know if he would come out and apologize or whatever. I also saw a lot of people say, let's not forget, Michael Malone, and I have no problem with it because I'm a big talker too, but he's talking a lot.
Yeah,
he was talking a lot. Everybody talks at the parade. We're not saying there's anything wrong there, but he was talking at the parade. He was talking about the Lakers. He was talking about the media. Not, this whole, he was on this whole tour when he won, and now all of a sudden, he's bagging on reporters' questions. Right. So it's a little, and I've already called someone else a front runner here, but in Tyrese Haliburton, actually, there's a lot of front runners out in these streets, but that's neither here nor there. It's crazy for Michael Malone, I think, to react like that, because I don't think it was a stupid question.
No,
it's not like he asked what's the price of gas in Denver.
No, exactly.
It made sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's fitting to the game. Like, especially when your season is over, you could expect sometimes some really, really actually dumb questions like, hey, Mike, like, have you already given thought to where you're going to, how you're going to decompress after this? Like, you could actually ask stupid questions. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, what other kind of question do you want these reporters to ask? That's the exact kind of hard-hitting question that we have people clamoring for all the time here. Is like, hey, you blew a 20-point lead. Would you like to take some accountability? Would you like to let us in on what went wrong? And he decided to instead get mad. And so, I get it also, like, coaches especially are these surly, I don't want to say sad, but like, they live a very, especially during the season, this is where their life is focused. And so I could understand why, maybe sometimes coaches, especially, guys like Mike Malone, guys like Tom Thibodeau, these harder edged guys, sometimes they don't really have the best I don't want to say like not social skills or anything,
Right.
but just like sometimes they can be set off really easily.
Yeah, I mean, just because, and that's what happens with sports, right? Just because, and I would say to a lesser degree with acting, there are positions, there are jobs out there that make you do things that maybe isn't your bread and butter.
Mhm.
And because you're really good at the X's and O's as a coach, that doesn't mean you're going to be great with media availability.
Exactly.
Michael Malone, I think this is different because he had no problem with media
Right.
availability while they were winning.
Sure.
And I would like to say just a shout out, because I think that obviously we're in media and a lot of people in media are attempting to do it the right way. But now you have a situation where you had the exit interview with Klay Thompson where he said, man, you guys don't even want to talk about the season, right?
Yeah.
So you have you have one media group dealing with Klay Thompson saying, man, you guys don't want to talk about the season. Michael Malone doesn't want to talk about the
last game, right.
specifically. I don't know what he wants to talk about the season. So
Right.
at what do you, we have to ask you something.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is not a bad question.
No, I think that's the most above board question that you could have asked is, hey, we just saw your team blow this lead. Please explain. Like, that's what everybody wants to know in that moment. And like, I don't know. I mean, he could have given a better answer 100%. I think just giving the fans some insight into, hey, even if it is just a media trained answer of, yeah, we got to be better. We're supposed to be better than that in those moments. Can't really explain, even if you don't have an answer, can't explain what went wrong, but just know that we have to be better in those moments. For him to pop off, it almost in a weird way, like, detracts you from asking those kind of good questions, right? Because there is a human element of this is, I know it was my job to ask that question, but if I'm going to get met with that kind of response, like maybe the next time I'm not going to be as inclined to ask that kind of question. And I think that just makes us as fans worse fans because we don't have full insight into how a champion just collapsed in a game 7, which usually, I mean, defending champions, I think, haven't made it out of the second round the last 5 or 6 years or something like that. But how does a team that had ultimate execution last year, precision, everything was to a T, how does that go out the window in a game 7, the very next season? I think it's a totally fair question, and I would love to know the answer.
Coming up next, we continue the conversation. Draymond on the Pacers being a regular season team. What does that actually mean, and what do you need to perform on the highest level at the biggest stage? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for Are you? He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayuk is on fire!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
If you're looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, we're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. Prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about UpsizeMatters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to upsizematters.com. Go to upsizematters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. Get your girth on.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. You'll save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, to sofas, to sectionals, to dining rooms, to bedrooms, to home offices, and so much more. Everything is on sale right now at Naturewood Home Furnishings Memorial Day sale. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, it's all available for you at savings from 10 to 25% at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishing, off Highway 50 in Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Sactown Sports.
Fair or foul? Was Michael Malone out of line? And I don't know did you know this, Chris? I get confused a little bit, but I'm pretty sure Michael Malone is the same as Matthew Stafford. They don't want to be called short.
Oh, wait. Yes. Like the shorthand.
Yeah,
of their
the
name.
shorthand
I
of their
was
name.
like, you know.
Well, now Nate's laughing.
Yeah, I was like,
Matthew Stafford is not Matt
like
Stafford.
6'3".
He likes Matthew Stafford.
Yes, Matthew.
And I'm pretty sure it is Michael Malone.
Yes.
He does not like.
It is not Mike.
Because a couple of people have said Mike Malone, and I thought, I'm pretty sure I was told
a couple
years ago that it's Michael Malone.
Yeah, he actually got mad at a reporter for calling him Mike, and he was like, "It's Michael, please." And I think here in Sacramento, in a weird way, we got him at the ground level, and so it was as he had bigger things to worry about than correcting people on his name, trying to wrangle in DeMarcus Cousins, and so here in Sacramento, we called him Mike Malone all the time. But once he got to Denver, he made it very, very clear he won a championship, and was like, "Yeah, no, you don't call me that." Which I sympathize with.
Yeah, right.
I guess I don't, because I'm definitely not a Christopher. But I'm the opposite, where it's like, don't call me Christopher. So I sympathize with the just call me by this, please, not the other one.
Yes. Hey, what would you like to be called?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And hey, call me by what I want. All right. 916-339-1140. Let's get out to Dave, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Dave? What you got for us?
Oh, I was listening to that Mike Malone answer, and the reality is most questions by reporters to players and coaches are dumb questions. We already know what the answers are, right? Mm-hmm. And even if they're positive, hey, how do you feel about hitting the game-winning shot? What's your emotions? Everybody knows the answer to that, and even the reporters asking knows. The reality is the way he answered is what people are starving for, right? The kind of question he's probably, like everybody said, he might apologize for, but it was a little bit more genuine. It was a little bit more emotional, and it was a little bit more off the cuff, right? Mm-hmm. So in a way, the reporter did his job because he stirred up an emotion that was unexpected. And this is why people are talking about it. If he just said, we're going to try again next year, a 20-point lead is the new 6-point lead, they're lost all the time, we won't be talking about it. But because we are, it meant that reporter actually did his job.
Yeah.
No, that's a great perspective.
No,
for
thanks for the
That's
call,
it.
Dave.
That's it.
Yeah, and I'm cool with everything Michael Malone said until the stupid question.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I think that's right, because that's, again, the it's not a stupid question. It was actually to Dave's point, or Dave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not David. We should have clarified there. Dave, to Dave's point.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that the reporter did exactly what he's supposed to do, and that's get some sort of real answer out of Michael Malone. And I don't think
he thought that question would do that.
I don't think he did, but I guess sometimes you stumble upon greatness, and I think that's kind of what he did, and it was unfair. I mean, Michael Malone, I guess in a weird way, didn't even understand that he had I guess, is he gave an answer that I guess to Dave's point is kind of what people want to hear, is the real, how do you honestly feel? Don't give us the media trained answer. Give us how you actually feel. I didn't think about it that way, but now after hearing it, I do think I definitely agree with Dave.
Now this is taking me down a road where I don't think I was initially going to go. Is the culture in Sacramento, whether it's Mike Brown, the media, and, we've had listeners chime in, texters chime in and say, you should have got at Mike Brown more. We might have Brandon Nunez on the show a little bit later. Should have got at Mike Brown more. Should have got at Monty McNair more. And to go through a season where you blew how many leads, you lost to some terrible teams, and you ultimately don't make the playoffs, and we don't have any clip of any type of spiciness from between Mike Brown and the media. All we have is Mike Brown mad at the refs and bringing a laptop. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing or not, but it is kind of interesting when we talk about the personality of this team and how you want dogs, or you want guys like, guys that you can depend on to get a little bit feisty if need be. I don't know how much we've talked about the fact that we always say, they're taking the mindset of, De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, whatever it is. We really haven't talked about that in terms of Mike Brown either. Not that I want Mike Brown to wear out somebody in the media, but I just felt like it was listening to something like this with the defending champs, right? And even my time in the Bay, and a lot of people will say that they are a bit coddled too, but it's easy to be coddled when you're winning. It does feel like maybe we should have had a couple more moments where it was just never awkward in the media, no matter what.
Right. Yeah. No,
which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, De'Aaron probably made it the most awkward of anybody a couple different times, but I mean, I think there might be something to that for sure. I mean, the teams definitely tend to take identities of whoever their leader is. And I would say Mike Brown is probably their leader. And I think he is fiery, but I think he's just also really good at controlling his emotions. I mean, from what we understand at practice, sometimes he can we've seen that video of him laying into Malik during the offseason. I think it's just a matter of, it would be nice to see, because we talked about that throughout the season, especially with De'Aaron, is just, sometimes we would like to see you be angry after these games, after these big blowouts, after these. It's one thing to be frustrated, but it's kind of another thing to actually feel the emotion of fire and to say, I think he's going to come back and try and respond next game. It would be more of okay, shutting down, being quiet. And I don't think that's the right emotion that we want. I do think that there is something to it because, we talked about it. We want you guys to be mad after these losses. We want you to go home and not just completely forget about this, because I think that I truly do believe that those are the kind of things that make you better as an athlete, is to hold grudges. Michael Jordan swears by creating, manufacturing these things in his head to help drive him. I would have loved to see it out of the Kings, especially this season. That was incredibly frustrating. I think we felt the frustration, but we never felt, I shouldn't say never, that's probably too big of an absolute, but I can't remember many times where we came on these airwaves after the game and said, they lost, but they took it personal. There was a fire in that where they said, no, hold on. We're not bad enough to lose to the Blazers. I'm going to show everyone what it is. And maybe you could argue they're just not that team, but I think there's definitely an argument that you need somebody there to kind of rile you up and tell you sometimes, like, no, like what you're doing isn't okay. This isn't all right. This isn't normal, and you should be riled up by it. And I don't think last year there was really maybe there were, but it didn't seem like from the outside looking in that there was many people that were trying to fire up the team.
And is that a problem?
I would say so. I think every team needs some sort of like.
It was supposed to be Trey Lyles.
They always say every great team needs a wild card, right? Like you need a Draymond, you need a J.R. Smith, you need a Dennis Rodman, you need those guys that are. I mean, they call them X factors, but it's because they're either going to give you 26 or they're going to give you, really big hustle play, Jordan Poole half-court shots in those Celtics series, like those kind of things. You need those wild cards. Every single championship team ends up having one, and I think the Kings could use one. I mean, that's what we talked about. That was my whole case last offseason. It wasn't necessarily the player, but I thought Draymond's energy was something that the Kings could use. Before Patrick Beverley went through all of these incidents to end the season, I think they could use a guy like Patrick Beverley's energy. I think Russell Westbrook would be a nice happy medium for this offseason if he's going to be available. So I do think that this Kings team does need somebody who's going to kind of rile De'Aaron up, who knows how to get into his ear. I think Malik can be that guy, but maybe Malik's not. Maybe after he signs this contract, he takes a little bit more ownership of his role with the team. When you sign a 2-year deal, it's like, all right, I'm focused on me to an extent, but if I do well and the team does well, that's good for me. If he's going to sign a 4-year deal here, maybe there's a little bit more of a sense of, okay, this is home. I'm staying here. Since I'm going to be here, how do I make the best of this situation? And maybe he says, look, I'm locked up. I know De'Aaron's going to be here at least 2 more years. Maybe it's my role to get the most out of this guy.
Yeah, the word, well, besides Malik, right? But I feel like the word that comes to mind when you think of this season, and you've said it in so many words, is boring. Yeah. It was a boring season.
Sure. Yeah.
It was a boring season.
Yeah.
Especially compared to the season prior to with the Beam team and all the excitement that was around them. Now it was essentially the same roster, but obviously you had a couple different pieces and people played well. And who's this new guy, Keegan? You know what I mean? You got a rookie doing this, but yeah, it was just a bit boring.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say boring because the bad, like the roller coaster wasn't boring, but it's just. I know what you're saying.
The
like
good was boring.
It was
and
just
the bad was annoying.
Yes, there was a lack of highs, right? Yeah. Like there's no game winners. That's really the thing that I point at a lot when it comes to just like the excitement level. But obviously last year there was just so much new, and this year
there's no triple overtime with the Clippers.
There's no triple
game
over,
like
exactly.
Yeah.
100%. You had the Keegan 47-point game, but that kind of was like almost smack dab right in the middle of the season, and so. Kind of, I don't want to say gets lost in time, but there's so many things that happen after that game that you can't really relish on it. And, Sabonis had a really fun season, but, is Domantas Sabonis's play style is him, getting the post ups and, getting these double doubles? Is that like Steph Curry hitting logo threes? Right. Not quite.
And we talked the same thing about De'Aaron.
And everybody's bricking too. Yeah. Like Herter has a career low year. Keegan has a career low year. HB takes a huge back seat. De'Aaron goes from 40% to like 30% the last 3 months of the season. So, I won't say boring is the wrong word, but it just the roller coaster it wasn't a fun roller coaster to go on.
Maybe it was more annoying than boring.
It was definitely annoying. It was definitely an annoying season. Where it's
just going to stink, just stink.
Figure it out. Just figure it out. Be one.
Right.
Whatever you're going to be, just be it. And I don't think we ever got the answer.
No.
All year. It was up, down, up, down. As soon as you convince yourself of one thing, they would go and do the complete opposite. Alan, the amount of times we counted this team out and then, well, we can't because they have this back-to-back. And if they win this, then this. And then okay, then they would win those games. And it's like, okay, now they're set up to maybe do this if they just win 2 of the next 3 games, and then they would lose 3 of the 3. So it was annoying is definitely the right word. Trash roller coaster is another word. Yeah, I don't know. I got to think of like the worst roller coaster.
Like a roller coaster that hurts.
Yeah, like
an old wooden roller
coaster. I love Six Flags in Vallejo, but it's kind of like Kong. I don't know if you've been on. I like Kong. No, I like Kong a lot, but that's the one that gives me whiplash more than any other ride because it's just the shoulder straps.
Kong is the orange one, right?
Yeah, it's right next to Medusa.
Where your legs hang.
Your legs hang. It's just like a very like boxy.
Medusa is
cagey.
very smooth.
Yes, very smooth. Very
scary.
Very smooth.
The little or Big Dipper at Santa Cruz Boardwalk. You ever been on that?
I was thinking because it's the old wooden roller coaster.
Sure. It's like one of the oldest roller coasters.
Yeah, I haven't been out to
the Kings gave you whiplash. That's what they gave you.
Yes, absolutely. Both directions.
Yeah, and Kong, sometimes your head will bounce between
exactly.
Ow, ow, ow.
I'm terrified.
I haven't been out to Six Flags in a minute.
Let's go.
Yeah, we should go.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now. Is it, you guys got the rest of the hours.
Maybe we'll be back. Maybe we won't.
Maybe we won't.
When we return, the Pacers, are they a regular season team? Are you worried that the Kings may be a quote-unquote regular season team? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of the spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl.
Everyone loves to be outside, and so do mosquitoes. Protect yourself against mosquitoes and West Nile virus by following these simple tips. At least once a week, look around your yard and drain stagnant water from any containers where mosquitoes can breed. Remember to use an effective mosquito repellent, especially at dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Close all doors and be sure screens are in good working condition. At the Mosquito and Vector Control District, we're here to help. Visit us at 5 SubContractorsUnited.net.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
It's Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I've been rolling the past few months in my new Mercedes EQS electric SUV. My EQS is without a doubt the best looking fully electric SUV on the road. Friends tell me it's got the most stunning interior of any car they've ever ridden in. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They have redefined what top-notch customer service feels like. They are simply the best. A half hour from SAC, a short drive off the I-5 right at the 8 Mile Road exit. It's the best car buying experience you'll ever have, and it's always online at mbofstockton.com.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Elevate your golf game at Timber Creek Golf Course in Roseville. Just named to the prestigious Golfer's Choice 2024 Top 25 Public Golf Courses in all of California by Golf Pass. Timber Creek offers an unparalleled experience. Our revamped practice facility features a grass driving range, expanded putting greens, and a chipping area complete with sand traps. Whether you're a pro or just starting your golf journey, Timber Creek is the place to be. Visit us and discover why we're the talk of Sacramento and beyond. Unwind and tee off at Timber Creek Golf Course.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
From the 916, the Kings were soft and, kind of boring. I don't think I can handle watching a soft team for a full season again. Well, how do they – I feel like I'm doing a Dave commercial
How
here.
do they – ask it. Ask the question, Alan.
How do they improve their girth?
No. How do they get hard?
I didn't want to say
Come
that.
on. Come on. It's
How
the
do
question
they-
everybody's wondering.
How do they stiffen up?
Yeah, there you go.
Call Dr. Jack or
That's
whatever.
right.
Dr. Pash?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Do the Kings need to call Dr. Pash?
I think so.
916-339-11.
Or, yeah, exactly. I would say so.
Dr. Pash, call in.
Exactly. Give us
Yes.
your
How would you
diagnosis.
help them?
Exactly.
I've heard it's painless.
That's what I hear. I hear it's quick and painless.
How do they go from the bench to the all-star team?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How do they do it?
I would first bring in some enforcers. I think every team kind of does need that wild card, that loose cannon, that James Johnson that you see on Indiana. I saw a video the other day of when DiVincenzo got into it the other day with I don't think it was Haliburton. It might have been Pascal or something.
Remember it was Miles Turner.
It was Miles Turner.
Or was that a different one?
I can't remember, but
it was Miles Turner, and then I saw another one, and I think it was with Haliburton.
Might have been Haliburton. DiVincenzo was getting into it with one of the Pacers, and then James Johnson just comes off the bench, and like everybody, it looks like Shaq when he tried to dive into the bench, and everybody clears out. You need like a version of that for sure, where it's just,
they
it's a
don't
hockey
need to
enforcer.
play. Because we've been talking about this as far as someone who plays.
Yeah, I think it would be ideal if they played, but if you can get a vet who kind of brings that edge, I definitely think that helps you just to kind of, almost be a hype man, be a Kent Bazemore, if you Warriors Kent Bazemore, if you will, where, you're really bringing energy and they can feel that kind of thing. It sparked the whole Nate bit. Mason Jones, like he actually did bring some energy to the team. So I think that you can. I think you can do it without playing, but of course, I mean, if you do play, it just adds even more fuel to the fire. So that would be my first step. Is definitely don't spend money on it. You don't want to spend money on an enforcer, and it doesn't even have to be somebody who plays 82 games, but just somebody who could be a piece of the rotation. And I'm not saying they got to be somebody who's literally just there to fight, but I just think of somebody like even like Juan Toscano-Anderson.
I was going to say
because
that.
It's just bringing hustle. It's just bringing edge.
But the problem was they can't keep JTA on the roster because
Mike Brown will play him. He's like, I will start him. Okay, Sabonis, sit down. Sit down.
He has to play.
Okay,
he has to
Get
play.
one in.
Well, you need somebody, and that's who the Pacers have. The question is, are the Pacers a regular season team? And what does this whole regular season team thing actually mean? Here's Draymond Green on it.
And so Jackson has this question on here, like, do you owe the Pacers an apology for calling them an 82-game team? And the answer is no. You gotta take your hat off to the Indiana Pacers. I still personally think they're an 82-game team, but I didn't think the Knicks was real, so like somebody had to get there. But now we get real. Like now you get Boston. They play well defensively versus New York, but this is a different animal. It's a totally different animal. I got Boston. No problem. Should be a gentleman's suite. So, no, there's no apologies, Jackson. They got to the conference finals. Somebody have to get there. It's the East. We get it. Got it. Somebody got to go. And, but congrats to them. That's dope. But I think this is going to be the end of the road for them.
Nate, why are you shaking your head? What's the problem?
I just hate this guy. I'm watching this. Thank you for asking me because this is bothering me. First of all, his setup sucks.
He's like in a hotel room, is he not?
Dude, he's always traveling.
Dude, get a better mic. Like his mic, he can barely hold it. Obviously, he's an NBA player. He's got giant hands. He needs like a mic, like we have, like a stand or so. I think he's in his house. I don't know. But regardless, his camera sucks. He's a freaking billionaire. Oh, not really, but you know what I mean. Someone help this guy out. Also,
that's his aesthetic.
He also just is like, I thought they're an 82 team, and they're clearly not now. And he's still being like, nah, they still are. The Knicks suck. It's not their fault that they won or whatever. His points suck.
There was no analysis there.
No,
it was just
he's being proven wrong, and he's just being like, nope, you're wrong.
He has a smirk on his face, and he's like,
light the beam.
What's the problem?
He just is so freaking annoying.
Light it!
Just screaming at that tiny microphone with his little pop filter on there. Dude, get some money behind this show. I know they're paying him so much money to do this stupid show.
Your overhead down.
Yeah, exactly.
This is smart.
Dude, he always is smirking too.
Why wouldn't he be?
He knows he's wrong.
Winning.
Is he? I guess.
He's like, it doesn't matter.
He is.
I'm just getting people upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
taking no accountability, and he's just like, I said it. It looks like I'm proven wrong, but guess what? I'm not.
I'd way rather listen to Stephen A. Smith talk about Mewtwo.
I actually would.
Yeah, I'm way more down for that. This also, one more thing. Editing this guy's audio, which I didn't do here, takes forever because he takes 45 seconds in between words.
I will say this, and I've thought this for really since
he's got to eat the clock.
He's got to eat the clock.
He's like, it's a 30-minute pod, and I have like 10 minutes of material.
Exactly. I'll put it to you like this.
The clock.
The one thing about Draymond, which I've always found funny, is the whole new media movement.
Of course.
Because he is literally doing what all other media outlets do. Here's the thing, and what brings this up is Nate saying, hey, he didn't really say anything there, but he was kind of being hot takey.
Chris said that.
Yeah. There's a whole episode where he probably does break down stuff.
Sure.
But nobody wants to hear that, right? For the promo.
Sure.
Yeah. For the promo, it's hot takey.
Yeah.
But I thought you were new media. I thought you didn't do that.
Right.
So it's the same thing that everyone's been doing forever. The only difference is, I guess it's new media because Draymond's still playing.
Yeah.
What makes this any different than what any other
except for JJ Redick?
Well, JJ Redick.
Coach Redick.
Even though
Coach
JJ still gets his bread buttered on First Take, where he has to be for
and
hot
he
take.
screams. Yeah. Also, I mean, my point is just like he's contradicting himself completely. He's like they're only an 82 game team. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
I would
like
love
you can't
to hear,
say that right now.
Yeah, I would love to hear Draymond Green, the player, react to Draymond Green, the analyst.
Yes,
because could you imagine if Draymond Green were on the Pacers and then some player who had a podcast said what Draymond said about the team that Draymond's on? He would rip that fool. You thought what he did to Bonte was cold? Like, he would have torn into whatever. You know, he called Nurkic, whatever. Him and Nurkic had that thing back and forth. So, yeah, I mean, to your point, Draymond, just.
He'd probably just be like, hey, why don't you just go kick your producer in the nuts or whatever you're good at.
All right, coming up next, we discuss what Sean Cunningham had to say and his info about who the Kings worked out and who they met with. And who excites you. And then at 12 o'clock, we will reveal who the draft prospect is today. Again, not thrilled about it, but maybe I can be convinced. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Nighttime is the right time to track your golf ball's flight time at the Hagen Oaks Top Tracer driving range. It's more relaxed at night with people enjoying the Top Tracer technology where you can play Pebble Beach at Hagen Oaks. You can compete against your friends in a variety of games or just practice with the Top Tracer television technology. There's food when you're hungry from the Hangout food truck or enjoy a craft beer on the brand new patio with relaxed seating. And don't forget the summer-long free concert schedule. It's the Hagen Oaks driving range nightly until midnight, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Vapes and cigarettes are responsible for the excessive amount of secondhand smoke in California.
From our sidewalks to our parks, restaurants, offices, and work sites, over half of Californians are at risk of being exposed to thousands of toxic chemicals.
Go to secondhanddangers.org for an action plan to protect yourself and your family from toxic harm that could last a lifetime.
Because even outdoors, there's no such thing as safe secondhand smoke.
Sponsored by Breathe California, Sacramento region.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Sean Cunningham, who does some great work out here in Sacramento.
Saw Sean at the Snell game on Friday.
I saw everybody was there but me.
That guy does not stop working.
Yeah.
That is Sean Cunningham is one of a kind.
Everybody was there except for me, but it looked like a great time. And Sean, per league source, got some information. The Sacramento Kings met with 10 projected lottery picks during last week's NBA Combine in Chicago. Interviews included Donovan Clingan, Dalton Connect, Sacramento native Jared McCain, Alex Sarr, Jacoby Walter, and Cody Williams. I mean, I guess in a draft like this, Chris, you have no clue what anybody is going to do. There's a good chance one of those guys is available at 13, right? I mean, somebody's going to try to be the smartest in the room and take a flyer on somebody not expected, which is going to free up one of these dudes. Anybody excite you from these names? Did you wish you saw another name? Are we just too early in the process?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that those are the first names that have came out. I shouldn't say those are the first names that they've necessarily spoken to. These are just the only names that we know. Mm-hmm. The one thing I will say is all of those names, for the most part, are guys that I think the Kings should be looking at, I guess. I mean, I think in terms of more the range that the Kings are picking. Alex Sarr is a bit strange. I mean, it seems like he's number one, is going to be number one. So I don't know what that's about. That's a bit strange. Maybe it is just to get to know him. Maybe I wouldn't think the Kings have intention of moving up in this year's draft.
Not that it matters, but I think it might be the Bleacher Report article that has him number 2 this go round. But either way, he's not going to be around at 13.
Yeah. Clingan's a bit strange too, kind of for that same reason. It seems like Clingan is top 5, maybe top 8. I mean, definitely, I haven't seen him anywhere past 10.
Right.
So the Kings picking at 13 and talking to him, it's just doing your due diligence. Also, there is some of this where there might be some gamesmanship. I know if I were a scout, the one thing I would be using this opportunity for is getting your first scouting report on an opponent. It's like, hey, if the Lakers end up taking whatever, Jacoby Walter, I would like to have a very detailed idea of the kind of player he is, or at least what we think of him from an organizational standpoint, so you can pass down the information to the coaches and all that kind of stuff. So that might be some of this, but the Dalton Connect, that's your guy. It makes a ton of sense. He's an electric scorer. Jared McCain, I think, is obviously somebody who's probably mocked the most besides Jacoby Walter to the Kings at 13. Obviously, being a Sacramento native as well, that'd be really cool. Cody Williams, though, that's my guy. I'm a little bit disappointed in his measurements at the Combine. He ended up, I thought he was going to be like this kind of Jaden McDaniels type guy. He's listed at 6'8", but when they did his measurements without shoes, which has since become our favorite exercise, 6'6.5" without shoes. Still does have an 8-foot, a 7-foot wingspan, 7'1" wingspan. So that's still kind of the guy I'm looking for, but I can't lie. When I saw him at 6'6.5", that's just that's an average size small forward. I wouldn't think that that's somebody who's actually providing you with extra length, so I was a bit disappointed to see that. Honestly, that might make Cody Williams more available to the Kings.
Yeah.
So I think I would still be down for that pick, but I'm a little bit less excited about the overall potential of him being just like an absolute spider on defense.
I mean, there is something to be said about having too many of the same guy. And, this whole idea that the Thunder are just going to take Cody Williams just because,
right,
his brother is on the team. That's not really what the Thunder need.
No,
right? They already have plenty. They have his brother. They have they have 3 other dudes that do similar stuff. So I think that I'm starting to think he'll be available at 13. It's just a matter of whether or not the Kings will want him.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, we went through this last year with Keegan and Chris, right? I mean, everyone assumed that the Kings were going to do whatever they could to get Chris, and he was taken 1 pick before the Kings. And so if the Kings really, really wanted Chris Murray, they would have traded up and gotten him, especially I think it was 21, and the Kings picked at 22 or something like that. So that wouldn't have cost them anything. And yeah, just because Cody Williams is Jalen Williams' brother does not mean that they're going to play together. Doesn't mean OKC has him on their radar. As a matter of fact, it could mean, to your point, the complete opposite, because they already have him there. Yeah. And it's like, what are we going to take Cody Williams for if we already have this logjam? It's the guy that I'm at the moment would be the most excited for if the Kings took him. I'm not saying that there's not other prospects that would be. I haven't done nearly enough research. I've just gotten the surface level. I was telling you earlier, I was watching some Zach Edey clips. I'm still early on the recruit or on the scouting process, but to me right now, Cody Williams is just the one that I think fits the Kings the best. I'm not sure, there's the constant push and pull conversation of taking fit versus best player available. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure where Cody Williams currently falls on that meter.
So you think that you like him the best, but you're not sure where he would play?
No, I'm just saying I don't know if he is actually the best talent that's going to be available. Like, it might be, I think the calculation that the Kings are going to have to make potentially is, okay, let's just say Jared McCain is here at 13, but there's also Cody Williams. And for whatever, the Kings believe that Jared McCain is the better potential player. They had him higher up on their board, but Cody Williams fits the team better. I feel like they're going to have to make that calculation of, okay, do we have Cody and Jared McCain ranked close enough to where, okay, we're just going to take the fit, or is it, no, we have Cody Williams maybe at 15 on our draft board and we have Jared McCain at 6. And so we're definitely going to take best player available over fit. I think that's going to be kind of the dilemma, the push and pull that the Kings are going to have to deal with if they do make this pick on draft night.
Yeah. And some of the other guys that may be available, they're all going to, in theory, fit different needs. I mean, yeah, the closer we get to this thing, it really just going to come down to who do the Kings think can immediately help them? Because now it feels like the whole, and maybe it's going to be like this until we get closer to the draft, because now it feels like all the trades and things like that that's gone a little quiet, but maybe it's because it's just going to go quiet until we're closer to draft night, because I thought everybody was moving off. Right now, I think we're starting to see the tide turn just a little bit. It might continue to start to, well, is this draft actually that bad? Right. And people will convince themselves that somebody's going to hit, like we said yesterday, and we're going to be the team that hits.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think the draft talk is going to start once the season's over. I don't think you can legally make any deals until the league season is over.
I just mean the smoke.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like last week, it was everybody was
right.
So-and-so is Memphis is looking to move, and maybe they are still looking to move. It's just the initial throw it out there.
I think it's vacay mode right now. I think everybody's on vacay who's not playing, and then once everyone gets back to town, probably at the end of May, I think that's when it's going to be full steam ahead. Everybody's going to be in their respective places. Calls are going to be made left and right. That's when you're going to start seeing people get called into towns. People will come to Sacramento to get private workouts and things like that. And then that's also where we're going to get a gauge into, okay, like I said, a lot of these guys are around, most of those guys are around 13. do the Kings start bringing in people who are more middle first round? And what does that tell us? Or do they stop? Do they not bring in anybody else who's in the top 13 and they're just bringing second rounders into Sacramento? Maybe that indicates to us, well, the Kings have no plans of actually making that 13th pick because the only people they brought in to get a one-on-one look with were all second round picks. That kind of happened a couple of years ago. And sometimes it's all smokescreen too. Sometimes these guys meet with people in private. Sometimes, Monty will fly out to LA to go talk with these guys overnight and then fly back. And you just never end up hearing about it until after draft night. It becomes a whirlwind. It becomes this is where the Sam Amicos of the world thrive because it's all whispers. It's all rumors. It's all, I'm hearing that they're fixating on this guy here and this guy here. But yeah, I mean, ultimately it's on the Kings to figure out who's going to be, like you said, the player that can help them get to the playoffs next year. I think that there's that's not even saying that they have to take necessarily a guy who has a high floor, low ceiling. It just means diagnosing a guy right now who has playable skill set in the NBA, even if it's just one thing, even if it's just, this guy's a tenacious defender. He can be I know there's a prospect from Virginia that's like a Matisse Thybulle mold. Well, he might one day become a shooter on top of that. But right now, I know he can give us 10 good minutes of defense, and that could be something that's valuable to the Kings right now, and he still has some room to grow. So it's about figuring out right now what your team needs or just figuring out who the best player at that spot is.
Sean goes on to say, in addition, I've heard the pre-draft workouts returned today. So that would have been yesterday, Chris. Yeah. After pausing for the combine last week, members of the Kings front office are scouting on the road, attending pro day workouts hosted by top agencies in Vegas and LA this week. Those are the worst.
Those are the absolute worst. I remember a couple years ago, Jericho Sims, who's on the Knicks now, Clutch had scouts come and watch all the Clutch clients that are entering the draft. And people were like, is there an 8-foot rim here? Because Jericho Sims is like, his chin is above the rim. And it's ultimate hype machine. This is like where it's almost like a pro. I mean, it is. They call them pro days, but it's very reminiscent to the NFL pro days where you're setting these guys up to just look like monsters. And there's never anything bad. So once Zach Edey's comes out, be expecting a top 10 mock draft.
I can't wait for that.
He made 20 out of 25 threes. Oh my God.
Well, Chris, they can't make them make
Jokic
shots.
2.0.
They can't make them make shots.
No, I know. It doesn't make it less impressive. It's just, I'm not reading anything. Last year, Derek Lively, there's a video circulating right now.
I remember
Mavs
that.
draft room tweeting out Derek Lively just cashing corner threes.
And I don't think he
make
taken
three
one
this year. He did not make a single three.
I literally remember that.
Yes.
So whoever's gonna get this guy, and he hasn't been bad.
No,
but also it's just
like
good. It's just like my second cat. You said you could play fetch,
right?
And you don't play fetch.
No fetch at all.
None at all.
Did he even take a three? He took 2 threes this year. He was 0 of 2 from 3. And so,
fire up the video
during
the break. Fire it up during the break. All right, coming up next, another Sacramento snub. We'll tell you who it is this time and react. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Save big this Memorial Day at Lowe's. Right now, save on 1.5-gallon annual hanging baskets. Get 2 for just $20. Plus, buy one, get one 50% off. Select interior and exterior paint and exterior stain via Lowe's gift card rebate. Shop these deals before they're gone because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 5/29. Hanging baskets in-store only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Paint. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details. While supplies last.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox as the Kia NBA All-Defensive Team voting results are now out. De'Aaron Fox received 2 votes, 1 first-place vote, 1 second-place vote for a total of 3 points. That's not going to get it done, Chris. That is not going to get it done.
Not quite. I guess they don't love steals like that. I guess that's what we just learned is that apparently you can lead the NBA in steals. Let me see. It was total steals as well. Yeah, tied Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for total steals at 150 over 74 games. Shai did it over 75 games. So technically De'Aaron did average more per game than Shai did, but matched him in the total. And I'm just trying to check here. Maybe I'll do it during the break. It might be a little easier to do. When was the last time the person who led the NBA in steals didn't make either of the all defensive teams? That is very interesting. I'm seeing last year OG Anunoby. He made second team all defense. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, just interesting. Like, I don't even know. If you were to just blanket ask me, did De'Aaron Fox have an all NBA, all defensive team performance? Mm-hmm. You know, I don't think it would shout to me. It wouldn't be the craziest thing if you told me he made the second team, but I guess maybe that's the argument is just like, yeah, he led the NBA in steals, but did that necessarily indicate that he was one of the best defenders in the NBA? I think it's a fair question.
Well, and what is the main? What are they just using the singular defensive player rating? Is that
no? I mean, it's just. I think it's just the vibes. It really is just a vibes thing. Totally.
It also strikes me as one of those things.
But here's the thing: like blocks leader, there's no way the blocks leader isn't going to be up there. And I'm seeing it here. It looks like DeJounte Murray was the last time 2020, 2021. He led the NBA in steals and did not make the all defensive team.
Well, here you go. I mean, here's first team and second team: Rudy Gobert, Victor Wembanyama, Bam Adebayo, Herb Jones, and Anthony Davis. That was first team and second team.
No notes.
Alex Caruso, Jalen Suggs, Derek White, Chris's favorite player, Jaden McDaniels, and Drew Holiday. So this is why I ask about the metrics that they're using, because I do feel like this is one of the awards that you can definitely get grandfathered into.
For sure.
Right. Once you are known, and we've talked about this with Keon Ellis and having a kind of a defensive brand, being a 3-and-D guy. Once you are known as a defensive specialist, you're always going to get that nod, right? You're always going to be at the forefront, and you're going to have to almost play yourself out of it. Or I guess somebody is just going to have to be a dog. And that's more than just steals, apparently. Because, I know some people thought maybe Jalen Suggs was a little bit interesting as a pick, and to a lesser degree, Drew Holiday, because you have Derek White and Drew Holiday both making second team. I mean, they're just a crazy defensive team. But these are all names that we associate with defense. So it's like a chicken or the egg type deal, right? That's not to say that they aren't good defensively, but if you're not really working off of specific metrics per se, I'm sure they look at metrics, but on top of that, we know this person or that person is a good defender.
I'm trying to figure out how Herb Jones made first team and Alex Caruso didn't. It doesn't really make any sense to me because I'm looking at Alex Caruso's numbers. I mean, he played 5 less games than Herb Jones did. He had 15 more total steals than Herb Jones did, and he had 8 more blocks than he did. And Alex Caruso, if I'm not mistaken, also led the NBA in deflections. So I'm just not sure. Again, like, I know it's a vibe thing. It really is just there's no perfect defensive stats out there. There's no perfect defensive metric to properly value where these guys truly are at. And so you do have to kind of go off of eye test. And like you said, there is a lot of branding in this as well. But it doesn't, that's where it's just like, there needs to be, in my opinion, some sort of metric that we can all agree on that shows defensive value, because I just don't understand when all the counting numbers. I guess maybe the argument is that the Bulls were trash and, the Pelicans made the playoffs or made the play in. But I just don't, that one I would have a lot of questions for. And then, the other thing I noticed immediately off rip is the first team all defense. Those are 4 centers. Bam, AD, Rudy Gobert, and Wemby are all big men, and then the rest of the list, maybe Jaden McDaniels is the exception, but those are all perimeter guys. Herb Jones, Alex Caruso, Drew Holiday, Jaden McDaniels, Jalen Suggs, Derek White are the rest of the guys on there. Maybe there's just is there an overvaluing of, again, blocks, rim protection, and not enough attention? Because, again, you can give a raw number for blocks or for shots impacted at the rim. You can't give a number for, Caruso is just dogging this dude from half court on. He can't get by him. He's just locking him up. If you're not getting steals or deflections, there's not really unless you're watching all of these guys every night, you can't really differentiate, okay, how is Drew Holiday different than Jalen? I don't see how you can figure out perimeter defense without just eye test.
Can you answer this question for me? And no Lou Dort either.
No Lou Dort, yeah, for sure.
Look at how many votes Lou Dort had. But can you answer this question for me? Why are blocks viewed as so much more, I don't know if important is the right word, but why are blocks viewed, maybe I'll ask it this way. Why aren't steals valued as much when it comes to defense?
It's a great question. Doesn't make any sense to me. It never made any sense to me. I've heard a lot of people make this very same case. It's just like a steal is a direct turnover. It is,
and a live ball turnover.
It's like the difference almost between an interception and a pass deflection.
Right.
It's like, okay, if you get a steal, if you get an interception, that's a direct, you get the ball, your team takes the ball. It is a direct one-on-one correlation. A block is, not all blocks are created equal. Right. You can tip it, the guy can get it right back, dunk it. You could tip it, go out of bounds. You could tip it and, send it to half court, and then your team gets on a fast break. Not all blocks are created equal. And so it's kind of an unfair stat. It's a very flashy stat. I love blocks. They're great, but it doesn't tell the full story of, I'm sure Victor Wembanyama has more. I don't know how you could, again, something you can't really quantify, which is why this list is more of a vibes thing. I'm sure Wemby has more diverted people from attacking the rims than anybody in NBA history, but that's not a stat. That's not a number. And so that's the number to me that I think is more useful than just, he touched the ball when he shot it.
You're not talking about steals anymore.
No, I'm just saying blocks what's the fascination with blocks? I don't get it, because there's other numbers that you could use that more accurately show that this guy is a defensive disruptor than blocks. And steals, again, is like a direct, nobody assisted you in getting a steal, I wouldn't think. You run the pass lane, you individually poke it out.
Yeah, and when you brought up Wemby, it's almost like the opposite of, we're finally getting to a place where there's gravity, right? And I know that's your boy Steph Curry, but the gravity. Wemby has the opposite gravity, where it's almost like when you try to put two magnets, they're going the other way.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of baseball in this sense as to what to do with this stat, right? So assists in baseball.
Yeah.
So I used to think, because, people would joke me and, because I never had a rocket for an arm, but I'll get that thing out quick. And I used to think, okay, well, you want a lot of assists, right? You want a lot of assists. Then I was talking to somebody who played in the bigs, and they said, well, sometimes the guys with the strongest arms don't have as many assists because they're not being challenged. Because the third base coach will say, I'm not, that guy's got a cannon. I'm not, I'm not sending you on this. If I'm sending you on a lesser guy,
right,
it's because we think you can make it, and then you throw them out. So you have more assists. Just because you have more assists doesn't mean that you have a stronger arm than someone.
Exactly.
It means that you're being challenged more.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. And to the Rudy Gobert point, like people are not you see people almost on a weekly basis trying to dunk on Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Why don't you see many people trying to dunk on Wemby?
That's what I'm saying.
You know, so yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just an imperfect stat. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to do about it. I don't even know if I necessarily disagree that there should be or that there shouldn't be 4 people in the first team all NBA that are bigs, but it just, to me, it's just a little strange. I have a hard time believing that truly the four of the 5 best defenders all just so happen to be around the rim. Like are all Rudy Gobert is defensive player of the year. He's definitely going to be there, but I just feel like there's not enough love for a guy like, I mean, for me, Jaden McDaniels, the fact that he can guard bigs and guards, I don't see how that's not rewarded with first team over, I'm sorry, anything Bam Adebayo. Like, I don't know what Bam Adebayo necessarily, maybe again, counting numbers might be there, but I just feel like a guy like Jaden McDaniels, to me, to represent 1 year of this award, I think he deserves it more than a guy like Bam.
Yeah, and I feel like we're arguing the same thing we argued with the Kings. Oh man, well they didn't, even though we only had them going to the second round, they should have at least made the playoffs, right? I feel like it's starting into, all right, De'Aaron didn't get snubbed per se, but he's still too low. He still deserved more votes.
Yes, exactly.
So can you be snubbed when we don't think you necessarily should have won, but you just you deserved more respect?
Right.
He should be higher on the list.
He should be higher on the because I mean he got less votes than Sabonis. Sabonis got a first place vote and 2 second place votes. De'Aaron got 1 first place vote, 1 second place vote. So
I do want to know also who was second place in steals.
Shea. Shea was second.
And Shea, again.
Shea didn't make it either.
Shea didn't make it, but 19 total points.
Yep.
He's number 1, 2, 3, 4. He's number 5 on the didn't make it list.
Yep.
I mean, De'Aaron, you got to accept the cookies to find De'Aaron. All right, coming up next, LeBron says he's not involved with the coaching search. We also have some sound from Bronny and some important dates as we get closer to the NBA draft. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the 3-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
National Ping Club Fitter of the Year, Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is introducing the straightest, most forgiving Ping driver ever with the new Ping G430 Max 10K driver. A fixed back weight, Ping's largest head profile, and a carbon fly wrap crown help G430 Max 10K launch the ball higher with less spin for consistently longer and straighter results. Schedule your fitting and see for yourself at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue to Cap City Freeway, or online at HagenOaks.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Tuesday, we're staring at plenty of sunshine and feeling just a subtle north breeze. Temperatures today will feel noticeably warmer. Highs will peak in the upper 80s. Expect overnight lows in the 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777. What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT 5.3 liter in stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive, all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details and 6324.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Keep your family cool and comfortable this summer with Bell Brothers' best summer ever financing event. When you replace your AC system, we're offering 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on approved credit, then low fixed rate thereafter. That's right, 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on any new AC system. It's an incredible offer on an incredible new AC system, but only for a limited time. This offer is also available on any plumbing, water heater, or insulation projects over $1,000. So call Bell Brothers now. Your family will thank you because they'll be cool and comfortable. But you have to hurry. Our offer for 0 payment, 0 interest for 6 months, then low fixed rate thereafter ends soon. Estimates and second opinions are free. So call now to keep your family cool and comfortable during Bell Brothers' best summer ever event. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com. That's theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
In a world where everybody and their mother makes a primed trim board, contractors have to ask one question. Do I know what's under the primer? Available at just about every lumber yard you can imagine. Vintage trim boards are made from lodgepole pine. That's the stuff telephone poles and railroad ties are made of. It's durable, it's straight, it's been doing the job for generations. Manufactured right here in the USA. Ask for it by name. VintageTrimboards.com.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
This is from the 707. Sacramento is the kid who doesn't get invited to the popular kids table. No respect from the media, from the league, or from NBA fans as a whole. Being a star in Sacramento seems like a real sacrifice to a player's career. That is from the 707.
I think that's a little bit of an overreaction to this. I'm not saying that necessarily is a wrong statement. I just feel like for De'Aaron getting snubbed for all defense, I don't know.
I think in a year like this year, the De'Aaron thing, kind of similar. Okay, how did De'Aaron get snubbed more? And I guess I already know the answer to this. He was more snubbed as an all-star, but was he actually snubbed for either?
I don't think so. I think Sabonis was more deserving of an all-star than De'Aaron was.
Because it feels like there are all these snubs, right? Mm-hmm. And we're in Sacramento and all the things the 707 said. But if you actually break it down, was Sabonis really the when you talk about egregious, mm-hmm. It goes in order. The snubs in order would go, what? Would you go Sabonis 1, Malik Monk 2 for six man? Who was a bigger snub between Malik Monk and Sabonis?
Probably Malik. I would say Malik. Malik deserved that six man.
Yeah.
100%. And, Sabonis, I mean, especially in hindsight, I mean, Timberwolves are in the conference finals. So right. I think if we look at this thing, and you could say I guess the same thing about Naz Reid too, but I would think that if you look at this thing like we'll just do 5 years in the future, and you look back on this season and you see Karl Anthony Towns all-star and you don't see Domantas Sabonis all-star, I don't necessarily think you're going to think twice about it. I feel like after watching this season, you're going to look back at the Malik snub and just always wonder like how, Naz Reid had a great year and he's done really well in the playoffs. But to me, again, I was championing it all year. I just think Malik fit exactly what a sixth man of the year is supposed to be.
Yeah, I am.
But I think it's everybody's own.
I'm looking here, right? And again, you're not trying to take away from anybody, but I am looking here, and Naz Reid just in 2024. Yeah, I mean, that's why it's just unfair because I'm looking at Naz Reid and I think the only game he eclipsed 25 minutes in game 2 when Rudy Gobert wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, the first round, he never played over 20 minutes in a game. Okay, because they swept. Never played over 20 minutes in a game. And against the Nuggets, he played 23 minutes the first game, 29 minutes the second game, 20, 18, 19, 22, and 21. Malik Monk, if they were still playing, Malik Monk is putting up 30 minutes a game.
Easy, every single day.
So that is what I'm struggling with.
Yeah, I mean, I think Malik is definitely the bigger snub of the two. I don't necessarily know if Sacramento has to do with it. I would just say the Kings' overall lack of success had to do with more of the snubs than anything. I don't necessarily like Shea didn't make all defense either, and I would have had more of an issue if Shea made it and De'Aaron didn't. Even then, I think that there is some arguments of, again, like just looking at it on its vibe wise or watching the games and coming to conclusions just off of eye test. I do think Shea is probably a better defender than De'Aaron, but marginally. So I think it's okay that I don't really have an issue with the guys that made the list. And so that's why I don't really feel like De'Aaron was snubbed necessarily. I would feel more of a snub if they gave it to Shea and De'Aaron was still at the place that he was in the voting. But since Shea didn't make it, I really don't have that big of a problem with De'Aaron not making it. And also I can't really take anybody off of these lists and say, was Lou Dort more deserving than Jalen Suggs? I don't necessarily think so. I think Jalen Suggs was one of the best defenders in the NBA this year. I think he had a first team shout. So, I just don't really have that big of a problem with De'Aaron not making it. I think it's more stacking up the L's. But this to me is probably the least snub of them all.
Yeah. Right. Oh, well, yeah, because even if you include De'Aaron All-Star, and he probably wasn't snubbed there either, but
right.
It would be there was more of an argument than for the all defense.
De'Aaron is 13th on this others list as well. Yeah. So like that's way far down the list. Like there was no way he was going to make it.
But that's what I'm saying. Now we're arguing, he should have been number 5. But
yeah, exactly.
Basically, there's no 13.
He didn't make it. Yeah,
right.
And I really do think that they need to. I said it during the break, but like, just make maybe not 2 teams of them, not 2. A first team and a second team, but just make all defensive guard 5 players, all defensive bigs 4 players or 5 players, and it should just be that easy because clearly that's what this thing is anyway. I mean, the fact that, again, like 4 of the 5 first team all defense are all centers. If that's what's going to be what the league is becoming, it's just going to be, hey, can you protect the rim? You're going to be viewed as one of the best defenders. Then I feel like they need to separate them because I think there's a completely different value for guys who guard the perimeter. And to your assist point that you made last segment, like, you're not going to get all the steals if you're just locking guys down and everyone's passing it off. Or if Alex Caruso is denying somebody from getting the ball and they never get the ball because he's denying them so well, how is that going to actually diminish his statistical argument?
Right. Well, yeah. And even though we were talking about blocks, it could be said about steals, but they already don't value steals. If they valued steals, then your Alex Caruso deny
yes
part would be spot on, but they already don't seem to value steals that much. All right, coming up next, we have LeBron James not involved with the Lakers coaching search. Yeah, okay. Bronny also talks about being the son of an all-time great. And again, 12 o'clock, we let everyone know who the draft pick is for today, according to a different media outlet each and every day. And today is Bleacher Report. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. Like 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. Switch today. With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details.
I love a beautiful lawn, and I have a beautiful lawn, but I didn't always, until I discovered True Green. And now I've got the best looking lawn in the neighborhood thanks to True Green. They manage fertilizer, aeration, weed, and pest control. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, sign up by May 28th and save more than $200 when you bundle lawn care and mosquito. Visit TrueGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price. Guaranteed. That's TrueGreen.com. Restrictions apply.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments. And after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. What's going on for Chrysler's It's the Season sales event?
Right now, you can save up to $8,000 off MSRP on those hard-to-find new 2024 Ram heavy-duty trucks, starting as low as $49,495. Plus, we have over 500 new Ram trucks available, which means the Ram truck you want is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
Yeah, but why drive all the way to Hoblet?
We do things different here at Hoblet. You're not just a number. When you buy from Hoblet, you become family. There's a reason we are California's #1 Ram truck dealer and #3 in the nation. We have the big city selection and savings, but the small town feel you can't find at an auto mall.
Now's the time to get the new Ram truck of your dreams. Stop by for a test drive or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
8,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 Laramie's after 7,500 dealer discount and 500 factor rebates. 5 of this net savings. 49,495 net price after 2,500 factor rebates. Rebates include 1,500 Ram commercial bonus cash. Not everyone will qualify. 5 of this net savings. Sample VIN 197372.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Recent mock draft, did want to touch on LeBron James and the update in the coaching search. LeBron, he's put it out there. He's not involved, whether you believe him or not. And ultimately, that is what they're going to put out there. I don't know if anybody's actually buying this. Here is Shams on the current situation with the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm told LeBron James is not involved in the Lakers head coaching search. I've reported on it last week. JJ Redick, James Borrego, Sam Cassell are the lead initial targets. But LeBron James made it clear this is the organization's decision. He's had no conversations with the Lakers about JJ Redick, his podcast partner. He's had no conversation with JJ about that position as well. I did speak to Rich Paul this morning. He said,
"Where's that dog meme?"
He said LeBron James and JJ Redick, they do a podcast together. That does not mean that he wants JJ Redick as his head coach, but he's leaving it up to the organization. We'll see what LeBron James decides for his future. Obviously, I'm told he's expected to play up to 2 more NBA seasons. The bottom line with LeBron James is this. If he was making the decisions for the Lakers, Ty Lue would have been the head coach in 2019. Kyrie Irving would be his point guard if he was running the team, if he was making the decisions. I think when you're the Lakers, you have to look into the future. Anthony Davis is someone that's going to play. He's going to outlast, most likely LeBron James as a Laker. He's 31 years old in the prime of his career. And how do you make a hire potentially that does fit AD better, involving him in the coaching search process? And he has built a rapport with James Borrego. They overlapped a little bit in New Orleans. But when you look at James Borrego, Sam Cassell, they obviously have experience as either longtime assistants. And for James Borrego, he has been a head coach before as well. So there is a
I do not want to gloss over that Rich Paul quote because to me, especially when you just read it as the quote itself,
right?
To me, it speaks volume. Again, Rich Paul, LeBron James and JJ Redick do a podcast together. That does not mean he wants Redick as the head coach. To me, that sounds like I guess I actually have to say this, but just because, yes, we work together does not mean that I endorse this man in all avenues of life.
Right.
And to me, it almost reads as, no, you idiots, I don't want JJ Redick to be my coach. I just wanted him to be my podcast partner, and that's it. And you guys are reading too much into it from the Lakers side of it. Like, if the Lakers are legitimately saying, well, LeBron clearly has a rapport with this guy, clearly respects his basketball mind, I think this is a guy that he would want to come in. I think that's overreading the situation. I think just because you're friendly with somebody, just because you speak the same language as somebody, doesn't necessarily mean, hey, I think this guy should run everything that we have going on.
I don't know, though, Chris. I mean, the timing, I don't know how long they had the podcast in the works, right, prior to the Lakers season as it was going on. But I mean, I don't think it's crazy for JJ's name had already been thrown around with the Hornets. I don't think it's crazy for someone to concoct a story like that, especially with LeBron.
Not concoct a story, but it's different to hire the head coach. It's one thing to make, I can connect dots and say the Lakers will probably have interest in JJ Redick, but not to actually have the Lakers do the work of interviewing him is even fine. But then for him to seriously be considered, and I'm not even saying he's not a serious candidate. It's not just the Lakers that have brought him in to be a head coach. I mean, the Hornets did it. And I think somebody else had him in for an interview as well. But I think that the assumption is just solely based off of their relationship for the podcast. And it really doesn't. I think that the weight of that is lifting it above those other guys who have experience and probably just as good of a basketball mind.
Right.
I think it's the perception of JJ and, the court of public opinion of JJ and all this kind of thing that is leading them towards JJ being the choice, which is a very Laker thing. It's very Lakers to say, yeah, like, who actually cares about like the job and like the skills that are required to do it? His name's Magic Johnson. Just make him our GM and things will be great. Like, that's not how it works for 29 other organizations. As somebody who hates the Lakers, go ahead, do it. Hire JJ. I'm not even saying it's going to be bad, but I can guarantee you can probably find a different coach that might be a little bit better suited to handle a LeBron situation when he's 40 years old. That just feels like something that's going to require an experienced touch. And I don't think JJ Redick, look what happened with Steve Nash. This is the same exact thought process what happened with Steve Nash in Brooklyn. And look how long that lasted. And look what happened with the fallout of all that. So go ahead, Lakers, go ahead. Do your thing. Be stars.
But I'm trying to figure out.
Win the headline.
But I'm trying to figure out, are you saying that for normal people to connect the dots isn't crazy, but for the Lakers who actually hire JJ would be crazy?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Of course, like we can all connect. Yeah, LeBron has had a lot of influence and a lot of organizational decisions. So it's not a stretch for some outside, doesn't have to be any source, doesn't have to have a day of media experience to say, LeBron doesn't really do this with a lot of people. I bet he really likes JJ. I wonder if the Lakers would consider him as a head coach. That's not that far of a stretch. That's not many dots to connect. But for the Lakers themselves as the actual decision makers to listen to what it seems like, I can't, maybe they had JJ on their radar this entire time, but from what it seems like, they are doing the same exact thing. And I just don't think that's how an actual organization should operate. I think organizations shouldn't look at Twitter, shouldn't base their decision making off of what the public thinks. You're supposed to be in the position. You're supposed to know that better than anybody else. And I just think that selecting JJ Redick to me would be a lot more for appearance than, maybe I think that they would be selling us on it being a Steve Kerr hire.
Why?
A Steve Kerr-like hire.
Why do you have to, or why does it seem like they have to, maybe it's because of the cachet of the name, but why do they have to make these guys skip the line? What is crazy about having JJ, just like you said, they can find somebody with a little bit of coaching experience, can handle these things.
Been around.
Why can't JJ be an assistant, right? Where LeBron can still
100%.
Coordinate with him. Why does it have to be
the head honcho? That's exactly what I'm saying. Why does it have to be the head coach?
Because if you're, who is JJ to say, oh, I deserve a head coach? You don't. And I don't think that he would say that he does. If somebody wants to interview him for that, cool. But why? Maybe it's because of like I said, his stardom. I don't really understand why that's necessary.
No, I also just don't believe that you can go from the booth to the sideline. Like, not immediately, like not without any sort of experience before. Again, Steve Kerr spent some time as the GM for the Phoenix Suns before he was the coach, and he was very successful as that GM before he ended up being with the Warriors. Even Ty Lue was an assistant for years before he eventually got the head coaching job. Even like Doug Christie, if Doug would have gotten a coaching offer immediately after, being on TV and being on radio, I probably would have said the same thing of like, maybe, and look at what Doug did. Doug went to the bench, and I think in a couple years, he's going to be a name that's probably going to circulate around head coaching searches. Shoot, if Mike Brown doesn't get extended, wouldn't surprise me if Doug Christie comes up here. So I think that's more what it is just like, can this dude, like, what is making JJ Redick so hyper qualified that he can go straight from, not even because Jason Kidd went straight from the court to coaching, but that's also Jason Kidd, one of like the best basketball mind, one of the best point guards we've ever seen. JJ Redick was a shooter, and obviously he was fantastic, had a great basketball career, but this dude has been out of the league for 3 to 4 years, hasn't been around coaching, hasn't been around day-to-day X's and O's. Like, he's definitely got some ideas. You watch the LeBron JJ pod, he definitely knows what he's talking about, but I think it's a whole different thing to be the manager, the guy in charge. Again, this is why being an assistant is so important, because you need to be in charge of your assistants as well. You need to know, okay, what is normal to give this guy as a responsibility? How do you're a CEO almost. You're dictating so many other people. It's not even just about the job you're doing. It's about the job you're having everybody else do and knowing everything that those things entail.
From the 530, is Redick criticizing the Lakers on the podcast? You would know that better than me, Chris. I feel like they just talk. They don't
Probably
talk
not.
about.
They talk about
teams.
Steph more than they talk about any other team.
They talk about just ball,
Yeah,
man.
dude, it's just
they don't talk about teams.
No, I don't think they ever really, like, unless it's LeBron mentioning something he did on the floor. I don't think they ever talk about specifically. I haven't listened to their episode where I think it's post bronze elimination, but I would assume that they don't go in on the Lakers.
Coming up next, we reveal who will be drafted by the Kings today, according to Bleacher Report. We have their mock draft. Let's see if you can guess who it is. I think I might have seen it on the Sat Chat already. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, a first Major League win is always special, especially for someone who's paid his dues. Joey Estes, acquired by the A's in the Matt Olson trade, handful of innings in the big leagues for the Athletics a year ago, made his first start this year in Seattle. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 5 years after he was drafted by Atlanta.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. You'll save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, to sofas, to sectionals, to dining rooms, to bedrooms, to home offices, and so much more. Everything is on sale right now at Naturewood Home Furnishings Memorial Day sale. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, it's all available for you at savings from 10 to 25% at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishing, off Highway 50 in Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury, for almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Tape it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
It is time. The Bleacher Report mock draft is out. All right. By our guy, Jonathan Wasserman. We're going to be doing this each and every single day as we lead up to the draft, picking different media outlets. So we have one for today, and Chris is going to go through this again. And Chris, we know who the names are. So I think as we continue to do this throughout the days, we can just point out anything surprising.
Yes. And starting with this one, funny enough, I think this is a surprise at number one. This is the first time I've seen this in an official mock draft, but we've been talking about this guy a little bit here recently, and I still can't pronounce his last name. Zachary Resacher, not sure, but the Frenchman who is currently playing right now in the French league, in the French playoffs, and had a huge game the other day, I believe in his semifinal matchup game. His pro comp, hilarious. What do you think his pro comp is that Bleacher Report gave him? He is a 6'8", 204-pound shooting guard, small forward, but definitely more small forward.
I mean, is it
funny.
young?
It's a funny comparison. We will think it's funny.
With Paul George?
Harrison Barnes.
Wow.
Can I interest you in Harrison Barnes at the number one draft pick in the 2024 NBA draft? Pro comp Harrison Barnes. Incredible. At number two, they have the Wizards taking Alex Sarr, who is, again, the 7'1" guy who has been the number one player in a lot of mock drafts, apparently until recently, with the big jump from Zachary. At number three, they have the Houston Rockets taking Donovan Clingan. I think that's pretty high. That's probably the highest that I've seen Clingan up here on the May 12th mock draft. It says Clingan was at the number 7 spot, so he's clearly climbing up boards. The pro comp on him is Rudy Gobert, which to me feels like a bit of a stretch. Yeah. I mean, Rudy is kind of a unique individual in itself. I think his mobility is really the thing that makes Rudy so much himself. And the fact that Donovan Clingan is 7'2", 280, that is not Rudy Gobert. I'm pretty sure Rudy Gobert came into the NBA about 215 pounds. So I'm not sure about that comp. 7'2" with a 7'7" wingspan and a 9'7" standing reach.
That's insane.
Standing reach is a new one. That's something that's become a lot more prevalent on these profiles, and I like that number. It's just like how close are you to essentially being at the rim by just standing straight up and down. Number 4, they have Nikola Topic going to the Spurs, so skipping on Rob Dillingham there, and Reed Shepherd, both guys being skipped at number 4 for Nikola Topic. At number 5, they have Stephon Castle. Number 6, that's where Reed Shepherd goes to the Hornets. Number 7, they have Dalton Connect going to the Blazers. At number 8, they have the Spurs taking Ron Holland. Number 9, this is the furthest I've seen Rob Dillingham be. He was 8th previously on the Wasserman mock draft, so Bleacher Report's not very high on Rob Dillingham. I wonder how much that has to do with his size. Speaking of size, at number 10, Cody Williams, the guy that I was breaking down earlier, going to the Utah Jazz. At number 11, they have Matthias Buzelis out of the G League Ignite going to the Bulls. At number 12, the pick before the Kings, Alan Stiles, cry your heart out, as previously was number 21 on the May 12th mock draft, climbing all the way up to number 12 to be selected by the Oklahoma City Thunder right before the Sacramento Kings. Alan's favorite, Tejon Selon goes at number 12 to OKC, crushing Allen's heart. And I think at that point you would probably throw many things. You would probably throw papers, pens, and all that.
It's interesting, his pro comparison. I always crack up at these pro comparisons because of where these guys are in their career.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying what?
Right.
So for Tejon Selon,
right,
it's Obi Toppin.
Right.
Is that what Obi Toppin was supposed to be? Is that what Obi Toppin is now?
Is it what Obi Toppin was when he was in New York?
Is it
because I think he's a little bit better than he was then?
Is it Obi Toppin in the future?
Great question.
Is it projected Obi Toppin or actual Obi Toppin?
Not sure. Because I feel the same thing about the
Harrison Barnes
or the Rudy Gobert. I don't know.
At what point?
I don't know.
Is it Harrison Barnes now? Tell me.
I don't know. This is why I think we're going to do the Ringer later in this week. The Ringer does it with the NFL. I'm pretty sure they do it with the NBA. They'll do shades of and then do like 3 different guys so you can kind of bring it all together. It's like shades of Harrison Barnes, shades of Michael Porter Jr., and shades of Mikal Bridges. And it's like, okay, I guess that kind of makes a more complete picture. And that brings us to number 13, where the Sacramento Kings and Jonathan Wasserman's Bleacher Report mock draft has the Sacramento Kings selecting Devin Carter, guard out of Providence. He is listed at 6'2", 193. He is a 22-year-old junior. His pro comparison is one that I am fond of, one Derek White of the Boston Celtics.
How tall is Derek White?
Asks the question. I don't know, probably like 6'2", 6'3", something like that.
Derek White is like 6'4".
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was listed at when he was drafting. I think his listed height is probably 6'4". But as we've learned, the listed height and the actual measured height have been 2 completely different things. The read up on, or let me give the numbers real quick. Again, Devin Carter Jr. out of Providence, really good numbers for his junior season, 19.7 points per game. This is the number that jumped off the page for me. 8.7 rebounds per game as a 6'2" guard, 3.6 assists. These defensive numbers are incredible. 1.8 steals, 1 block per game, 47% from the field, 37% from 3, measured at 6'2" and a quarter without shoes, and carries a 6'8" and 3/4 wingspan. The write-up on Devin Carter is a big winner from athletic testing. Devin Carter set an NBA Combine record in the sprint, tied for the max vert, and finished 3rd in the lane agility time. So that is high-level athleticism. He also measured near 6'9" wingspan, huge and key for a guard who could be considered undersized at the 2. Yeah, that's a little bit concerning. Him being 6'2" and probably having to play the 2 is not great. Despite strange shooting mechanics, he has made
strange shooting mechanics.
That's never great when they put that on there. But hey, Tyrese Haliburton, strange shooting mechanic. Well,
all right.
I don't agree, but yeah, he made plenty of jumpers during drills. After hitting 84 threes this season, teams may question the upside of a 6'2" combo, but between the shot-making improvement, nifty ball screenplay, and outstanding defensive length, IQ, quickness, and intensity, Carter looks to be like a top 20 lock who'll get looks in the late lottery. The one thing that really impressed me here, when you read his draft profile, the first thing that they mention is his defense. Defense, he's a standout defender who can really lock down on the perimeter and get after ball handlers. He's not the biggest guard, but has a lot of strength, allowing him to defend either guard position and hold his own against wings. He's also an elite rebounder for a guard and really helps out the bigs on the glass. Again, 8.7 rebounds per game from a guard is absolutely ridiculous. Offensively, Carter is just as aggressive on offense. He's a powerful driver and a good finisher in traffic. He's also a high-level three-point shooter, hitting nearly 38% of his threes his junior season. Well, when you read it like that, he sounds like a perfect player. I mean, he's a defensive standout, a lockdown player.
Come on, man.
Shoots the three at a high level. He's good in traffic. He's a powerful driver. What's not to like besides his size? And I think that's exactly where it starts. It's a different version of the Davion problem, but it is still, I would say, the Davion Mitchell problem, where I don't know if you can, he's got to be really excellent defensively, and he's got to be he's got to be the prototypical 3-and-D guy in order for him to survive. I'm just trying to think of guys, think like maybe Avery Bradley from back in the day with the Boston Celtics. That's maybe like the hope I would guess for a guy like this. That's just really, really small to not have as your point guard. I'm trying to think of the two guards in this league that are even that would even be 6'2". There's just not many. I mean, De'Aaron is a bigger guard, but I don't think he's necessarily that big to try and offset the 6'2" on the other side.
I got him going now, and I'm watching some of these highlights.
He's older as well. I think that plays a factor, as we've talked about this team bringing in a little bit more ready now guys. Maybe a little bit more of a completed project.
His shot, it's not really as bizarre as
would you call it strange?
Long.
Yeah. Strange?
It's not as strange as it is long.
Okay.
He takes a while to get that thing off.
And then you could continue to watch, and I'll list off the picks after, just for people who are wondering who the Kings maybe passed on. At 15, they have the Miami Heat taking Isaiah Collier. At 16, Khalil Ware to the 76ers. At 17, Yves Missy, I think it is. At number 18, this is the guy we talked about yesterday. They have the Orlando Magic taking Jacoby Walter. At number 19, and this is where I'll stop because this was the name I'll stop at 20. At 19, we have Zach Edey, who was at 23 in the Bleacher Report previous mock draft. So he's climbing even in Bleacher Report's eyes. Doesn't have him still that high, but still gaining a little bit of traction. And then at number 20, I'll stop here only because Whitey Gleason brought him up yesterday. Tristan da Silva at number 20 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that's a name that I wouldn't be surprised if we see that at some point fall to the Kings at 13 in mock drafts. His player comp for Tristan da Silva, yet again, another Sacramento King. I might look through this and see how many Kings we have as comps. Trey Lyles for Tristan da Silva. Don't know what to do with that. Again, don't know if that's don't know what that's really saying.
Do you think that the issue with this pick, Devin Carter, is it just too soon after Davion?
No, I just think it's just not a fit. I don't know if Davion is more just a cautionary tale of what could happen if you try and play a person who's more point guard sized at the 2. I don't necessarily think the proximity in which you took Davion, like the wound, and I don't even know if wound is the right word, but the fact that, you just learned that lesson, I don't know if that necessarily has anything to do with it. I would just say that in general, you shouldn't be taking guys that are undersized 2s.
You just have too many guards.
Yeah, we went through it yesterday. I think, it does depend on what you think, because the thing is, right now they have too many guards.
Right. Well, and these outlets, they're not thinking about Colby Jones.
No, definitely not.
I don't even know if they're thinking about Keon Ellis, to be honest.
Maybe not. Yeah, they definitely might not be. Absolutely. That would take them. These are draft guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're probably not, as we're tuned into the end of the regular season. These guys are locking in on March Madness. And so to your point, as Keon's really rising, that's probably right when they're falling off of their NBA watching, if they even do watch the NBA. So yeah, no, that's definitely a fair point. I think, because I believe one of Herter or Monk will be there. So that's one already, if not two. Still could definitely be two. You got Davion, or you have Keon Ellis. You've got Colby Jones. You've got De'Aaron Fox. And you got Davion Mitchell at the point. So I think those are, at the very least, you have 5 guards that are fighting for 2 spots. I think, Keon's definitely getting minutes next year. I know one of Monk or Herter is absolutely getting minutes next year. I guess maybe the argument is the Kings moving on from Davion, whether it be spiritually by getting his replacement or literally by trading him off. And maybe that is the move that you could see the Kings improving the most. I've been kind of saying it for a while. I do think the backup point guard is a spot where the Kings could definitely use some improvement, just a backup ball handler. The problem is here, honestly, with Devin Carter, not a single mention of playmaking. And you look at his numbers, 3.6 assists. That, to me, is the bigger problem. We saw this year how important or how impactful it was to have a guy like Malik Monk be able to have the ball in his hands as the second guard. If Devin Carter doesn't really have that in his junior season, I don't really know when he's going to develop it, since he hasn't really shown much of that in his game. And to me, that's a big part of Derek White's game as well, is he can kind of double as a temporary point guard. And I don't know if I see that for Devin Carter.
Yeah, I mean, most of the highlights are him scoring. I will say this, he is not the way he plays isn't terribly pretty. It's more gritty, defense, and even his
8.7 rebounds and a block per game at 6'2".
Yeah, even his shooting and his offensive moves, it's definitely not very smooth. Now, that could be nothing. There are a lot of guys that are smooth at the YMCA right now. So, he looks like a guy who would definitely bring that dog, and we'll see if the Kings decide to go in that direction. I'm just off guards right now.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. This is day 2 now. Can we give me some length, please?
We'll see.
Well, not length, not girth. All right. When we return, continuing the conversation, who do you want? And a current player in the West may be made available by a former champion. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
The Summer Starts Here sales event is on now through Memorial Day at your Toyota dealer. Take advantage of great deals on Toyota's entire lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Right now, drive into the season of fun in a new Toyota and get low 3.99% APR financing on Highlander. Or check out great lease deals on Camry, Corolla, and RAV4. Hurry, Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event ends soon. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available on 2024 models through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Excludes hybrids. N6324.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Came across this as far as the Nuggets are concerned. And this is from a Pro Hoops writer who does mostly Raptors coverage, but had something to say about the Nuggets, as Fondi Barani. And he says, I wonder how the Nuggets try and tweak this roster if they do. They have to pay KCP. They don't have money to add. Do they look to trading Michael Porter Jr.? What can they even get for him? Will they just run it back? I kind of think they should. And somebody else says that they should run it back. And I feel like they'll run it back. But Michael Porter Jr., he's interesting. At times, Chris, actually.
Whole squad, pretty interesting.
I actually completely forgot about all that initially. But I'll say this. He definitely is a guy who is a bit confusing as to how much you should depend on him or where he fits. We've talked so much about, okay, you need to have a number 1 option and a number 2 option, and then you have that number 3 option. And that's where I feel like, and I talked about this yesterday on social media amidst other things that I was talking about on social media. And I came out and said, I think that the Kings are actually in a better spot than some other teams. I referenced the Knicks and Brunson, how we discussed, hey, how do you know what's too much or what's not enough when it comes to the load? And I saw earlier on one of the national outlets saying, does Brunson need another star? Okay, well, if he gets what type of star, right? I think that the Kings have done a great job. We know it's Sabonis and De'Aaron, right? That third piece, and to a lesser degree, that fourth piece, what is it that they need there? We think they just need better pieces around them. And Michael Porter Jr., I mean, if you swap Michael Porter Jr. for Harrison Barnes right now, what are we talking about? I mean, it's over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think we didn't know what to do with Michael Porter Jr. He had the injuries. He went to Missouri, never even played, still had all that hype around him. I feel like, and it's surprising we haven't seen any Michael Porter Jr. comps coming out of the draft, but I feel pretty safe, even though he's still young, and saying, yeah, this guy is probably always going to be an elite number 3.
Yeah, and I don't even know, like, how do you value that? Because I'm pretty sure that he's getting paid pretty well as well. So I don't really know how that's going to factor into if a team is going to trade for him. What are you expecting to get out of him? I think he's definitely been somebody who is almost, I guess maybe I'm assuming a bit here, but he doesn't even understand how good he has it right now. Like, I think he is living the ultimate. Is there a player in the NBA who has less pressure than Michael Porter Jr.?
Well,
with that high of stakes.
Yes, and to be fair, he actually played pretty poorly in the finals.
Yeah.
And he had turned into
he's a defensive liability.
It was the Kevin Huerter conversation where we were talking about Michael Porter Jr.'s rebounding.
Yes.
And other things. Chris, he signed this deal. He's in year 3. He's going into year 3 of this deal. This past season, he made 33.8.
That's the bonus money.
Next season, he makes 35.8.
Oof.
Next season, he makes 38. 26-27, he makes 40.8 million. I can't pay that for my number 3.
I can't do that.
I mean,
I talk about Jeremy Grant all the time, and I'm taking Jeremy Grant over Michael Porter Jr. He does more for you.
Maybe I'll take that if you're my 2B. If some nights you're gonna be second option, or some nights you're gonna be the guy, cool. But I don't see that with Michael Porter Jr.
No.
He'll get hot. I mean, he's a more athletic Klay Thompson to me with lesser defense.
Yeah, I think he wishes he was Klay. Like, I think he's Klay, yeah. I think he's somebody who's I just don't know what to do with his career. Like, I think he's obviously he's already an NBA champion, but I personally wouldn't trust him to lead my team. That's for sure. I don't know if I would trust him as my number 2. He's almost like what I would view as in terms of role, like that is the ideal Jonathan Kuminga role. Like, I think that's the best that he could end up being. It's just like, what is Michael Porter do to your rebounding point in last year's finals? Like, if Michael Porter Jr. isn't scoring 15 or more points for you, what is he doing out there? Because he's a terrible defender, unwilling defender. He's really big. He's pretty stiff because of his back issues, which, by the way, I'm not going to bet on a dude who's got a bad back when he's 20 in his 30s.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So I just, I think he's in a perfect role right now. I think this is the absolute perfect situation for a guy like Michael Porter. And if you're Denver, I don't really know what to do with that because you got him and he's doing really well in your role. You won a championship with him in that role. But at the same time, you could also make the argument that that's almost the perfect time to let him go, is because maybe before people can kind of see all the warts and understand what he fully is, maybe you get out early and try and recoup as many pieces as you can and try and use that for the future.
I got these numbers here, and he just had an abysmal series against the T-Wolves.
Just over 10 points a game.
He had 20 in game 1 with 6 rebounds. He had 9 in game 2 with 5 rebounds. He had 21 in game 3 with 4 rebounds. After that, he had 4 points, 6 points, 8 points, and 7 points. That's your number 3.
Yeah, that's your number 3. And all he does is score. He's there to score. That's it. Like, it's not like he's, like you said, 4 rebounds. He's not assisting. He's not defending. He's not super switchable.
No, 1 assist. He had more than 1 assist in 1 game, in game 2.
Yep. So I don't know.
It was 2.
What are you trading for? Like, what are you realistically expecting to get? Is is he any better than, the Andrew Wiggins role on that championship team? Like, can he, he's, like you said, I think he's somebody who is a 3. He can maybe on the right night float as a 2. Maybe he gets hot. He'll be your leading scorer, but he's not a guy I would want to go to war with. And at $40 million, not many teams can afford to pay their third option $40 million. The Kings are paying their number 1 option right now somewhere near 30. So, I don't know what I would try and trade him. I think especially if you can get any sort of value, if you can get any sort of players instead of picks, I think players will be infinitely more valuable for Denver than their picks. I would try and get something for him. But I guess the counter is, while saying that, there is no immediacy. There's no urgency for them to do it. It's not like, he didn't play well in that series, but I think you can survive. You can maybe run it back 1 more year before ultimately giving up if you choose.
It's starting to look like the Nuggets just, and I know they won the whole thing last season, but they really just own the Lakers. Chris, these are the numbers against the Lakers.
He cooked
19, 22, 20, 27, and 26.
And that's also the Lakers, who have Rui Hachimura and LeBron guarding him, versus the Wolves, who have Cat, Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah.
They have actual guys that they can throw at Michael Porter too.
Getting spicy on the text line, and that leads us right into what Dave had to say earlier this morning about whether or not the Kings have a Keegan Murray problem, something that we've talked about as far as overvaluing your young guys, but we ask it in a different way, and somebody on the text line is going to make things very spicy here on this Tapatio Tuesday. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
So toss to McCaffrey, a cutback run 30, breaks 340. McCaffrey midfield. McCaffrey 40, 30, 20, and toasted all the way down to the 3-yard line on the first play of the game. CMC Dynamite!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year, and thank you for so many wonderful memories.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about UpsizeMatters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to UpsizeMatters.com. Go to UpsizeMatters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. get your girth on.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT 5.3 liter in stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive, all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details and 6324.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Vapes and cigarettes are responsible for the excessive amount of secondhand smoke in California.
From our sidewalks to our parks, restaurants, offices, and work sites, over half of Californians are at risk of being exposed to thousands of toxic chemicals.
Go to secondhanddangers.org for an action plan to protect yourself and your family from toxic harm that could last a lifetime.
Because even outdoors, there's no such thing as safe secondhand smoke.
Sponsored by Breathe California, Sacramento region.
Whitey here reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
The 916 is trying to make it spicy, so let's just take it all the way there as we piggyback off Carmichael Dave asking if there's a Keegan Murray problem in terms of how much we value or possibly overvalue Keegan Murray. So the 916 says Keegan is better than Michael Porter Jr. right now.
No.
In my opinion, that's how they end it. In my opinion, Keegan is better than Michael Porter Jr. right now. Right now.
That's a perfectly fine opinion. Everyone's got one. I disagree. I just think Michael Porter Jr. He's been a high-level scorer for multiple years. It's just Keegan had, he definitely, I don't know. I mean, his shooting took a step back this season, but as a scorer, he definitely improved. 3 points per game higher than he was his rookie year, but I'm just not there yet. Michael Porter Jr., 19 points his second year, 17 last year, just under 17 this year. I just think he's a better scorer. And I just don't think Keegan has rounded out his game quite yet. Now, we could be 2 months into the season, and that the opinion of that texter might definitely be more so where I'm leaning. But, as the last time we saw Keegan Murray versus the last time we saw Michael Porter Jr., I still think Michael Porter Jr. is just a little bit further along.
16 points, 16.7 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, 1.5 assists per game on 48% shooting. That was Michael Porter Jr. Keegan, 15.2 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, 1.7 assists on 45% shooting. I would give Michael Porter Jr. a couple more points. I would say Keegan is better defensively.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr. is better, rebounded the basketball better, right?
Yep.
Keegan is still better defensively. I mean, just from what I've seen with Michael Porter Jr., I will say this, though. Looking at Michael Porter Jr. versus Keegan, and I know Keegan had some moves where he couldn't finish, but we talked about at least he was trying out different things. I don't really see a lot of creation from Michael Porter Jr.
No.
That man, all he does
Jump shots.
is jump shots. But he's not even jump shots like off the dribble.
Yeah.
It's all, I mean, he's almost like it's more of a Kevin Huerter conversation, a better Kevin Huerter than Keegan Murray.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think I just think he is a scorer. Like, I just view him as like almost like a discount Brandon Ingram is more the category that I view him in. Like, I think Keegan and Kevin are more just shooters, if that makes sense.
Right.
Michael Porter Jr. is what the kids would describe as a bucket. And I think that's kind of where I have a tough time separating the two because, again, Keegan's game is maybe not as scoring dominant as Michael Porter Jr., but like Keegan's a better defender. They're probably equal as playmakers, but I just think that where Michael Porter Jr. is great, I'm not sure the rest of the everything else that Keegan brings necessarily supplants what Michael Porter brings just as a scorer. I think he is one of the because I do think if he's not in a situation where he's playing with Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, he's probably at 20 plus points per game. Like, if you just put it like a Zach LaVine, that's almost how I view him.
Would you trade straight up Keegan for Michael Porter Jr.?
No. And a lot of that has to do with Michael Porter Jr.'s injury, like history.
Price tag, injury.
No.
I just had to check.
Porter Jr. also, I mean,
he's 20.
Again, Keegan is the ultimate, like, zero maintenance.
Yeah. Michael Porter is 25, by the way.
Yeah. And what, Keegan's right around there, isn't he? He's 23.
Yeah, Keegan's 23.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr. is 25. Yeah, I'm sure there are people out there that would do it. I didn't know he was making that much money, though.
Yeah, no, that's definitely where the line kind of gets drawn. And, he's just not that guy. I mean, he's not at any point shown. I mean, I guess Jokic has been very healthy, but there hasn't been a stretch where, maybe Jamal Murray was out and it felt like, wow, Michael Porter Jr. has really stepped up into that number 2 role and thrived in it. It's felt like at every turn, it's a team. It is a complete team. And, you could argue that's play style, or you could argue Michael Porter might not have that much more to give than what he's giving already.
916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Let's get to TC, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, TC? What you got for us?
Alan, Chris, what's up, bro?
Man.
Not much, man.
Making it through the week.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Heating up. Hey, so okay, I got. Hey, y'all got me better?
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So check it out. I'm not doing the trade straight up for Michael Porter because Keegan and Michael are like the same players. The only thing different between Michael and Keegan is Michael is his paycheck is way bigger, and he shoots way bigger, Chris Allen. And then you don't have to tell Michael Porter to like really shoot.
Yeah.
Other than like Keegan, you get me? So like, I'm not gonna trade that's not a big enough like, oh, let's trade him straight up. No, it's not. Like, I'm not doing that trade. Like, as far as Keegan, like, let's keep Keegan. Like, it has to be like a blow my socks off deal, like a Mike Hill straight up. Like, hey, Jordy's like, hey, Mike, you want to do a swap straight up? We could do it right now. Like, that's the only type of deal. Other than that, we go ride with Keegan, bro, and then add other pieces with that. And then run that way, because with Keegan, it's no more development with Keegan. That's the thing with Keegan. I think everybody's getting misconstrued with Keegan. It's like, it's past that, Keegan. I know you're going into your third season, bro, but there's no more holding your hand. We shouldn't have to keep telling you to drop 30 and shoot the ball 15 times when we already told you 1,000 times that you're the third guy. So as far as that, we're not going to keep that going on, bro. And if we got to keep doing that, then that's when we might have to start having talks like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Hey, is this guy really untouchable, bro? Because we can't keep doing this. We got to worry about him. We're trying to get better. We can't keep, like, taking a step back because we're waiting on Keegan and, like, super develop. If you feel my rap.
No, definitely.
Yeah, no, thanks for the call, TC. I think ultimately there are just so many pieces to this organization where next season is just incredibly important. Mike Brown, Keegan Murray, the list goes on and on for this upcoming season and how important it is for the Kings to take that next step and get it done. But prior to that, Monty McNair, you're on line one. What are you going to give this team, and how are you going to put them in a better position to be successful? Coming up next, we continue the conversation as the text line is on fire right now with this Michael Porter Jr. versus Keegan conversation, and we get into Dave's thoughts on whether or not we are overvaluing Keegan Murray, as Chris says he would not do that deal for Michael Porter Jr., all things considered. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hagen Oaks Demo Days is in the home stretch, and this is your last chance to register for an individual fitting appointment with the manufacturer's fitting staff from Ping, TaylorMade, Mizuno, Callaway, Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio. You've waited many long months for the new golf season, and Hagen Oaks has your new golf gear right now. Book your individual Hagen Oaks Demo Days fitting appointment. Call 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for your personal fitting. Hagen Oaks, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway or HagenOaks.com.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
Fluently makes a stop at the venue for a night of nonstop laughs, and Sactown Sports wants you in the building, courtesy of Thunder Valley Casino Resort. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline in 15 minutes at 1 p.m., and we will give you the caller number. We'll have Chris pick the number.
Nice.
Wow, actually, I have a number in mind, guys.
Okay, well, you go ahead and pick
No, I'm giving you a good Can I give you a good reason?
Go ahead.
And come on, I'm trying to earn some brownie points here. I'm going to do the number of years I've been married because it's our anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
Great.
I should have thought about that
You should have.
prior to saying it was Chris's.
How about the years you've been dating? Was that too big of a number?
You don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, you don't want to do it.
You don't want to deal with that.
Can I just got to say something. I wanted to get this in before the break. This is about our guy TC who just called in.
Uh-huh.
I think he deserves credit. He loyal listener, all of us.
Very loyal. All of us.
Calls in.
Yes. Drive time too.
He will go he didn't go as hard today as he usually goes. He'll go in, right? He doesn't ever cuss. I've never had to dump him. I've never had to drop him. Never like that. He gets so intense and
passionate.
Goes so hard and never cusses. Doesn't even what's the definition of getting close? But I've never got worried when TC's on.
Right.
So that's major shout out to him for sure.
We go.
For sure.
Big shouts out TC.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he brings it every time. Every single time. Every single time.
No, so I couldn't do that.
No.
I get wound up.
I couldn't do it.
I turn to a potty mouth. I got to get soap going.
When we made it through that really rough stretch with the Kings where they just needed felt like 1 to 2 more wins and they just couldn't get it. Once TC made it out of there, I felt pretty good about not having to worry about him or some of our other callers. Well, some of our callers, we do worry about. And
you know who you are. you know who you are.
So Steve Trevino in 15 minutes, and I will be a cornball and connect it to my anniversary.
There we go.
Well, Chris, you brought this up since we're already here. You asked me, hey, I said, oh yeah, it's been X amount of years for the marriage and X amount of years for dating. And you said, do you celebrate both?
Right.
And I have seen this. I've only seen it on Facebook where somebody says, oh, happy dating anniversary.
Right.
So I'm just going to put it out there. 916-339-1140. Call line, text line.
Yep.
Do you celebrate both anniversaries? Or do you only, if you're married,
yes,
do you celebrate both anniversaries if it was long enough? I mean, if you only dated for 6 months.
Or if you're divorced, I guess, do you celebrate divorce days?
That's true too. And let's say you've been dating for over whatever the amount of years, enough that it makes a difference.
Right.
Drop a number. 6.
I would say 3 years. If you've been dating over 3 years and then you get married, assuming it's on a different day, do you celebrate your dating day?
Right.
Or do you celebrate the wedding?
That feels like too much.
wedding.
I think I told you, but that sounds like too much money for me.
I mean, I don't.
It's like I think I compared it to like a half birthday, where it's like, you can, I guess, but I don't really know what exactly you're celebrating. I guess it's like the spark of your love.
Nate, don't take this the wrong way. I feel like you'd have to do both.
Do I want to? No. Do I have to? I might, but I think once the marriage comes down, it's gonna be. I think I'm just going married. See, like my Kayla loves her birthday so much too,
right?
And
we know,
yeah, it's close.
And Valentine's,
yeah, oh yeah. That's
still got to make up for that. Nate.
I did. I do every day.
Yeah,
sure.
I donate a lot of love.
I don't think a lot of people do both.
I don't think so. I'm actually kind of surprised that people don't celebrate like their engagement day more. Like I would think that would be.
Now you're trying to add more.
Yeah,
well,
dude,
I would say,
chill.
yeah. Sorry,
I'm running out of money back here and ideas. The
I'm
hardest
just surprised
part is the
Hallmark
ideas.
hasn't been like,
Yeah.
engagement.
Yes, celebrate your special day before your special day, and then there's
Say
another
yes to
special
the
day.
dress day. Yes,
birthday months.
Yeah, yeah.
Your whole month.
Well,
Oh
if that's
my
the case,
God.
then I get to celebrate my bachelor party.
Let's go.
What's
Brother.
the problem?
Good luck selling that one. How are you going to celebrate? So every year we're going to do a bachelor party
I
to
would
remember
add
that.
Yeah. I would add, if you want me to celebrate,
Alan's final anniversary.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
What was your bachelor party?
Come on, you know what it was.
Vegas?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red and black.
Did
all
you
day.
feel like it? I mean, how long ago? I guess. Well, we're going to find out. Don't answer that. But like, do you feel like Vegas is a played out? I also went to my brother-in-law's bachelor party. Was also in Vegas.
But I'm basic when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm basic. Number one. Number two. You're going to have a good time. Number three. I had people coming from back east as well, so I like to allow people to double their experience. They're not just coming for me.
Right.
I'm not
It's
going
also
to
a Vegas trip.
It's a Vegas trip. You
Sure.
can have some fun in Vegas. Some guys hadn't been to Vegas before.
Feels like Nashville's the new wave, from what I understand.
I think that's mostly for bachelorettes
and country people like
I don't know about
country
the
music.
bachelors, the bachelor parties.
I just hate country music. I can say that now.
There's another one coming.
You could say.
There's another one coming.
Oh
by the
yeah,
way.
yeah, it's on its way.
There you go.
Yeah.
From the 209, dated 8 years, then got married on the same day that we officially started dating.
Smart.
Yes.
Smart.
Yes.
Smart. That's
Yes.
that's just marketing. That's like
genius.
genius.
That is genius.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because then also, you only got to remember one date.
That's right.
That's my biggest problem.
Why do guys always forget the date?
Bro,
It's so easy. I'm a victim of it.
I'm
yeah.
the worst.
From the 801. Where's the 801?
I can do my immediate family.
Where's the 801 from? I've been married 10 years. I have to remember wedding anniversary,
Dude.
B-Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's, and kids' B-Days.
Come on.
Remembering the dating anniversary left my brain years ago. So 801, I'm with
801
you.
is Salt Lake City.
Shout out
SLC.
Salt Lake. So I'm with 801. I think that there is a what would it be called? A statute of limitation on the dating. Right? If you do that for whatever, maybe if you're young, married, cool.
Yeah.
But you're not doing that.
Yeah, it'd be a little strange.
15 years.
Exactly.
2 kids later.
Remember we started dating like all those years ago at that sock
that's
hop
a text.
or whatever.
That's a text.
Yeah, hey, yes,
That's
exactly.
a text. Happy date day.
That's a brownie point text. Right?
Yes.
If you remember the day that you started dating 15 years into marriage,
Yeah.
my man.
That's a date day.
My man.
My man.
That's
Come
a
on.
date day.
Come on. Yeah, I mean it definitely gets to a point. I'm so terrible with dates. Like again, I know my sister's, my mom's, my dad's birthday, barely know my own. And my girlfriend's birthday I've had to learn. But besides that, like I'm looking at Facebook pictures. I'm like trying to be like, okay, this date, and it was like a week before that. And so I end up having to do homework to figure out certain dates, and it's just It's a nightmare.
I got a fair foul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since we're already
Yeah,
here.
we're here. We're in it.
And we will get back on track after our
summer.
Steve Trevino. I know you do, Nate. After our Steve Trevino giveaway, that is in about 8 minutes. And I don't even want to say this on air, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Dug yourself a hole already.
Yeah, I'm already. Look, these
It's just us three.
24 hours
Okay.
for me has been very spicy, and you know what? I live for it a little bit. Okay, guys, here we go. So Mother's Day was what?
2 weeks ago. 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. Yep. Okay, so you have that Mother's Day.
Yep.
Okay, which is always that. What is it? The
Like the second weekend of May. I think
the second weekend of May. That's Sunday. And then a couple weeks later,
you got your
anniversary.
Right.
Fair or foul for combo gift.
Oh, well, okay, for me, it's going to be a foul. Like, I know I'm going to get in trouble.
Oh, that's so tough.
What if it's a good gift?
Okay, yeah. If it's like a trip to Disneyland or something.
Dude, that's tough. I don't know because it's kind of
2
like
weeks,
it's
man.
kind of one and the same too. It's not like it's like, hey, no, that was for Mother's Day and like this is your like, you know, it kind of like Mother's Day and like anniversary.
Weeks,
it kind
man.
of is like you're celebrating in a way.
I don't
like
the
becoming a family.
Up.
You know,
the paychecks ain't
You got two. You got two paychecks in that span.
No, I
I
did not.
think this becomes a thing too, where like more towards Christmas, there'll be like people whose birthday is close to Christmas, and people hate it because it's like, well, people will always end up just doubling up the gifts. I think that's what you got to do is you buy two gifts with the intent, just split them up. I mean, that's really what it is. It's more so you don't do two individuals. It's just you buy, and it might feel like it's not really accomplishing anything, but that would be my answer is just you got to buy two gifts and just give them at the different days, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like a, hey, this one specifically is for Mother's Day. This one's for our anniversary, if that makes sense.
I should have thought this out better.
It's tough. I mean,
we got married about 2 weeks later.
I think that's the overall lesson is that you really have got to, when you're planning out your wedding day, not that I don't know how much input you even had in your wedding date at all, but
plenty.
Yeah. Okay. You know, really. Yeah. I was like, okay, well, it's a rarity from what I understand.
Was going to say, are you a bridezilla?
Listen to this.
Yeah.
Listen to this. The two things I've done in Philadelphia, I went to Temple University without visiting the campus ever. And then we got married because of COVID.
Wait, what?
We got married in a venue that we only saw online. And it was in Philly.
Oh, you never checked out the venue. I was like, how did you go to class? I didn't understand how you phrased at the beginning of that. You said, I never went to Temple University. So you were never.
I never visited the campus.
Before. Okay.
Before.
I thought you meant like as a student.
Yes, that's exactly
never went
what
to
I
school.
thought.
I was
I'm
like,
dude.
I don't think you're supposed to say that out loud.
No, it's too late.
I'm pretty sure North Carolina got in a lot of trouble for that.
Curtis Hicks is saying flagrant foul 2 on Stiles.
Ooh.
Man.
Yeah, you
for which
up.
one?
I think for only getting one for doing a combo. But if the combo is combo,
you know what? I think maybe you're just too early to combo. Like maybe combo's like a 10-year anniversary. You know, like the further you get into this thing, you just become a little bit more hardened and real about the situation. But like it's still young love right now, and you gotta try and display that, I guess. But you know, we know what it is.
All right. Coming up next, we have our Steve Trevino tickets. We also continue the conversation on the NBA draft and who do you want, and are we overvaluing Keegan Murray? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
The Summer Starts Here sales event is on now through Memorial Day at your Toyota dealer. Hit the road in a brand new Toyota truck and explore new trails on any terrain. The time is now, so don't miss out. Right now, get financing as low as 0% APR on 2024 Tundra Hybrid, or up to $2,000 cash back. Or check out the all-new redesigned 2024 Tacoma. Hurry, Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event ends soon. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available for TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Tundra Capstone models only. Excludes TRD Pro. N6324.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts report at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
We are fortunate in Northern California to have weather that allows us to play golf year-round. On the other hand, that's a lot of time to be exposed to the sun's harmful rays. So just remember to apply the sunscreen. Experts say that SPF 30 blocks 97% of the UVB rays that cause sunburn, and you should apply sunscreen at least every 2 hours. So put it on before you play and reapply at the turn. Apply it evenly and thoroughly. When you use a spray, don't step into the spray because you won't be putting it on evenly. We all tend to get our arms, legs, and face, but make sure you apply to your ears, neck, hands, and scalp, and don't forget the backs of your knees. And make sure you check the expiration date. Experts also say the sunscreen that works is the sunscreen that you actually are going to put on your skin. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
Hello, everyone. It's Drapes here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. A lot of Mercedes-Benz owners have started making the short drive from Sac to Stockton because the word is out about their stellar customer service. If you've dreamed of owning your first Mercedes, go see my friends in Stockton. They wrote the book on what incredible customer service feels like. You'll come back because their customers always do. It's Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just a half hour from Sac, a short drive down the 5, online at mbfstockton.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
It is time for your Steve Trevino ticket giveaway. America's favorite husband, the guy who speaks wife fluently, makes a stop at the venue for a night of nonstop laughs, and Sactown Sports want you in the building, courtesy of Thunder Valley Casino Resort. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number 2 to score that pair of tickets. Check out Steve Trevino at the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort June 1st. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. Caller number 2 in honor of my second anniversary. And yeah, Nate said, oh, what would it be if you did the dating? Yeah, that would be, I think, 12. So we can't do it that high. Caller number 2. Caller number 2. Got to be quick. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. And somebody was quick. Not too quick to be number 1, but just quick enough. And Nate looks like he has a winner.
Nice
to see Steve Trevino. We are joined by Sactown Sports Kings insider Brendan Nunez, who Brendan will just stop by.
Yeah,
Brendan will just vibe it.
Yeah, just hanging out. I like to act like we're friends every once in a while.
Yeah,
come in and hang out.
Yeah,
Alan's always asking. He's running around this building. Always, does anybody work anymore? And Brendan's always the only one saying that. Like,
come in once a week.
Yeah, like hello, I'm literally right here.
I mean. I'm already on thin ice. It's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday.
A long week.
It is going to be a long week. So let's just start it off nice and easy here. Michael Porter Jr. for Keegan Murray straight up. Are you doing it?
No. Well, okay. We're talking about would I trade Murray for MPJ?
Yes.
I don't know. Like contracts considered where you'd have to go and get more. Or you'd have to include more? Mm-hmm. Probably not. I do think that I agree with what Chris said earlier. I do think Michael Porter's a better player right now. Mm-hmm. But I think an interesting, discussion here or a game to play is like if Keegan were going into restricted free agency right now, or even we could talk next year when he's eligible for an extension, is he getting max money? Like, not that MPJ necessarily, I think there's a debate there if he should have. But I don't know that Keegan is on that level. I
wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so.
I don't think so yet. I think we could get there, but I don't think we're there. I think MPJ is a better player. I think there is more upside there for sure, but also there's more risk involved. And I don't know. That's not a swing. I would try to, if I were the Kings, get a deal done there without Keegan if you were really trying to go after MPJ.
And we read off the contract. I didn't know he was making that much. I mean, he's making 35, almost 36 mil this coming year. He just made 33 mil. Then he's going to make 38 mil. Then he's going to make almost 41 mil after that 2027 season when he's 28. So I don't think it's a terrible contract, but you better be the guy about 20 of those games in an 82 game season, you need to be the reason we won.
He's a great number 3 and he fits perfectly in Denver. I think it probably easier for them to justify spending that considering they already have the best player in the league. Right. They already have Jamal Murray there. But that number could look a lot different on a team where he's expected to perform at that caliber. Can he be a number 2 guy? I don't know that the playmaking's there right now. Can we really trust this guy to go run a pick and roll? There's some defensive progress, but there's still question marks. There's obviously the injury stuff. Like, it feels like he's not doing too much more than like 2 dribbles. It's kind of, if Keegan Murray was on that team in place of MPJ, I don't think anything would be different, And I think that's where the questions exist on his value and how that could change if there were different expectations on a different roster.
But that's exactly why I brought it up, right? Because I do think you're right. I think Keegan would fit there like a glove. The question becomes, you're paying a lot more money for Michael Porter Jr.
Right.
So how much better would the Kings be if you swap them and now it's Michael Porter Jr.? You would still have just for the exercise, you would still have Harrison at the 4.
Yeah.
So
the Kings would probably be better. I think they might be worse off defensively. They definitely would be worse off defensively, but I think they would be better. I think there's more potential there for MPJ. It's just not enough for me to really be something that it should go chase after. And also from Denver's standpoint, if I'm them, I'm not messing with it. Like, you just took Minnesota to Game 7. Minnesota's a really good team. I don't think that should just be overlooked. And I know that they don't have that much flexibility, KCP going into free agency. If I'm them, though, I'm running it back. I think that you're right there. There's no need to mess with it. Run it back. Jamal needs to be better. Peyton Watson will be better next year. Same with Christian Brown. Like, I think that group should run it back.
I'm curious. I mean, you just kind of opened up a can of worms in my brain. I feel like if all things were created equal, and let's just play the game of like, if every single year you just had an allotment of money or the salary cap, and it doesn't matter, rookie scale, anything. What do you think Keegan's market value would be? And more so saying for this
a single season of production.
What range of money? Like, I mean, is he a 17? I would answer it and say I'd probably put him somewhere from 17 to like 25 mil, but like the 30 plus seems ridiculous to the whole comparison of him versus Michael.
Yeah, I think 30 plus is over the top. And I think from Denver's standpoint, they were paying with the thought of this guy could also get better. But if we're talking just next year, they're probably right about the same range. It's probably like 20 mil. Right around like Harrison money,
I would
sort of thing. And maybe Harrison should be
right. That's
its own conversation.
Right.
But I think about
2025.
like what are you typically paying a third option?
Right.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
I think is where we're at with him.
Well, it's the third option on a championship level team as well.
Right.
And things look a little bit different when your guys don't. Michael Porter Jr. did not play up to his contract in that series.
Right.
Now, is that fair? I don't know, because he did play up to the contract against the Lakers. But it's the same idea with all of these teams that are, flirting with being over the cap. If you're winning, it's cool. If you're now losing, and I agree, they should run it back. That's really the only option they have, because I don't think you're going to try to blow this thing up. But if they have another early exit next season, and this thing is completely not a dynasty, not a budding dynasty anymore, and maybe that dynasty is in Minnesota or whatever the case is, then you see teams get a little bit more squirrely. But it's similar, honestly, in a way to the Kings, right? Denver just finally got this championship. Of course, they were going to run it back, and I think when you win a championship, if getting to the playoffs earns you 1 year of running it back, I think winning a championship earns you about 2 years of running it back before you say, okay, this group is just not good enough.
Yeah, I think the same. And if they were to make a change, MPJ would definitely be the one where you can just kind of, maybe you don't want to be as top heavy. You want to be a little bit more evened out along your roster. Some of the depth did show in that. Peyton Watson couldn't play in that series, really kind of got played out of it. I think he's good. He'll be fine long term. But do you want to spread that out a little more? Would you rather have MPJ, or would you rather have, and this isn't exact, obviously, but like, would you rather have MPJ, or would you rather have Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, and Trey Lyles? For example, like just throwing something out there. I don't even know if that exactly works, obviously, but that would be the potential change I could see, even though I am, like I said, pro running it back there.
Do you think if KCP does leave, do you think that's first off, KCP entering free agency, do you think they're going to pursue him? And then do you think they're okay letting him walk? And I would guess just like slotting Christian Brown into that starting 2 spot.
Yeah. I mean, I think Christian Brown's pretty good. I think KCP is an important part of that team, though. Like, Jamal's not the perimeter defender. Right. Aaron Gordon can do it, but it's more so wings that you're kind of putting him on, those guard perimeter creators that have a little bit more size. I think he's important. I think you should try to bring him back. And I'd imagine it wouldn't be that difficult. A lot of these other teams, I would imagine if you have cap space, you're not really trying to throw it at KCP. The teams with cap space aren't exactly contenders. So I could see him getting a lot of MLE offers from different teams. And I think Sacramento, that could make sense to me. They're talking about this too. You're talking about guys with championship experience that have been there. He's a little older. I want to say he's like 32, 33. So a little bit older, and that has to factor in. But sometimes if you're trying to go get a vet like that and you're in a situation where Sacramento is at, you do have to overpay a little bit and accept that maybe this last year is not going to be a great deal, but
also a clutch client.
Kings got an in now.
Help us out, Rich.
Yeah.
Help us out.
Come on, De'Aaron.
Coming up next, we continue the conversation with Brendan Nunez. We talk NBA draft and possible trades for your Sacramento Kings. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Chrysler's It's the Season sales event?
We're sad to say goodbye to the last of the new gas-powered 2023 Dodge Challenger and Chargers, but we're sending them out in style. Right now, you can save up to $12,500 off MSRP on the very last of the new 2023 Dodge Chargers and Challengers in stock. GT or SXT, you pick, starting at just $24,350.
It's hard to believe this is really the end.
Yep. Once they're gone forever. Don't wait and miss your chance because there's only a few left, and with savings like this, they won't last long.
Hurry in before they're gone or search, select, and save through their whole inventory at hobletdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$12,500 total net savings after $8,500 factory rebates and $4,000 dealer discount. 10th is net savings. $24,350 net price on new 2023 Dodge Challenger SXT after $8,530 factory rebates and $54.70 dealer discounts. Sample VIN 648401. See dealer for details.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app. Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Brendan Nunez showing us that Tyrese Haliburton is on the latest issue of Slam. How did Slam outlast Sports Illustrated?
Well, they had real people still doing things, I don't know. It's kind of a new edition of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Like I still have a bunch of Sports Illustrated magazines, but now the new thing is like, Slam t-shirts. I guess it's not
Slam
new.
also didn't try and expand that much. Sports Illustrated tried to become this whole big network, tried to become a thing outside of magazines, and Slam kind of stayed in their lane, if you will.
Sometimes
we'll sell shirts with our cover on it.
Sometimes you got to sell.
How many of those? What you have that Allen Iverson one, the Slam cover shirt.
I have an
Isaiah
Thomas one. I also have the Kings beam one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tons of people.
I got the AI one and the Dennis Rodman one.
Really? I don't think I've seen you.
I don't know if that's Slam, but there's a Dennis Rodman.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It may or may not be Slam.
I think that's kind of how Slam is done their business models. It's more like an online magazine and not spending too much money on everything.
Right. Well, that's the question, right?
Stay in your lane.
When is the last time we've said, "Oh, that really good Slam article"?
Literally never. I can't tell you even if somebody has Pablo Torre used to work for Slam. I know he used to work for SI, but I don't.
Right.
Nobody's ever came from Slam from my perspective.
I wouldn't have expected Slam to last longer than East Bay.
Oh,
wow.
Shout out East Bay.
East Bay was it.
That was
it.
Nothing would get me more excited as a kid than the East Bay magazine coming in.
Just to look at stuff that I
never buying.
Never
buying. Not even.
Ooh, the Team
I think
Jordan shoes are out.
Yeah.
Right.
I think in elementary school I got some customized Dadas in sixth grade or something like that to match my school color.
Wow.
I think that's the only thing I ever
Those
offered.
are the spinners, right?
No, so those were the Spreewells. They were Dadas, but they were just Dada made Spreewells and the C-Webs. The C-Webs are great. I think my dad still has a pair of the C-Webs. I have to bring those in.
You said you had school uniform, right?
Yeah,
you were chilling. Those were all.
I mean,
clear?
that's where you had to make your statement. They just said you had to wear the polo in the school shorts, but shoes were fair game. As long as they weren't open toed, you're good.
All right,
can't be open toed in these streets. Brendan, who do you like so far in the NBA? What?
Can't be open toed in these streets.
You gotta be careful.
There's stuff all over the ground, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Brendan. NBA draft. Who have you been interested in?
I will start with this. This is the obvious one, like Alex Sarr, right? The projected number one pick, but seeing in Sean's list that he was on there,
right,
it does get me going a little bit because
what do you think that's about?
everybody talks about this draft being weaker.
Yeah.
It might make it easier to move up.
So that's what I was wondering too. But I guess
he's definitely he is the one on the list
Brendan,
that you're like,
don't
this
open
guy
this
is gone.
Pandora's box.
I mean, you and I remember the Chet Holmgren
I know.
experience. We were talking the same thing. Like they should trade up, but there's more of these ideal fours that fit next to Domas.
Yeah.
The same thing we talked about before. He's pretty close to perfect defensively. Defensively,
yes.
me do this,
I mean,
Brendan.
I watched about 10-minute highlights, and he didn't take 1 3.
No, that's the thing, right? Is that he does need work when it comes to the offense. He's not the most physical player. He's not very physical in general, which the NBL is a very physical league, and I think that could factor in, maybe even more physical than the NBA at times. But I think the perimeter defense, the rim protection's definitely there. The 3-point shooting does need some work. And it just doesn't also seem like a Monty guy, to be honest. He's extremely raw prospect.
My head is spinning trying to think of the possibility of the Kings trading up in what might be the worst draft class ever and then putting added pressure on themselves to absolutely nail that pick.
I mean, yeah.
Because then all of a sudden it no longer becomes, it doesn't matter if it's the worst draft ever. The fact that you moved up that high to go get that guy then puts a level of expectation on, they clearly must have seen something they like because they did all this to move up.
It's the Sasha thing.
What's your level of trust with these guys, though?
With
I
who?
think that's the question. The front office.
I mean, if they do it, I would suspect that I would trust that they saw something in there that they like.
Right.
I would not think that it is just truly a random flyer. I would think that there is something that they directly see that says, they have viewed this guy clearly as the final piece of the puzzle.
We haven't seen him move up before. I guess they traded back into the first round, or maybe they moved up a little bit to get Colby Jones, end of the second round, beginning of the second round, excuse me. But that's really it. We've seen him trade down.
Right.
I mean, I would say, and Chris and I have been doing different mock drafts each and every day. If you're telling, as long as that price tag isn't crazy, because it is a lesser draft, if you're telling me you're going to move up to get Alex Sarr or take a Devin Carter, who is a 6'2" junior from Providence.
It rebounds out of his mind.
Crazy, okay, who is he? Josh Hart?
Crazy.
Yeah, like that's not bad.
Go get
probably could pass better than that. I think that there is more there offensively. It's not bad. I think it's all right. He gets him up.
Gets him up already. So does Alex Sarr.
He gets him up. But I mean, there is. All these guys are going to be flawed, and I personally always love the idea of taking an upside swing, but I think that, that's a little bit of my personal stuff. I just find that very enjoyable to go throughout the process of watching a guy get better, but I get why they might not feel like they're in a spot where they can do that. But at the same time, the other side is like, this is probably the pick where you would want to, the last one that you're going to get in this lottery for a while. At least that's the idea. Right. So maybe if you were going to take a swing, now would be the time to do it. Also not betting on it because we haven't seen him do that at all, except like Jamias Ramsey in the 30s. You never know, man.
My brain is now ruined. I'm just also trying to think does the Atlanta tie would that play any sort of factor in helping the Kings make that move? Like obviously we've talked a lot about, them removing protections, but is there any way that you could just say, hey, you will just take this pick? I like in a weird way, is it almost advantageous for them to try and make a deal with Atlanta? If that is going to be their
Yeah, it probably helps with some of their like restrictions when it comes to Stepien rules and future firsts, because that can be part of the negotiation. Like whatever deal we do, all right, let's also get rid of the restrictions. Right. So yeah, I would imagine it gives you a little bit more flexibility. But I mean, I don't even know like what a deal would look like. I'm sure it would have to include a future first, which is a whole other conversation. Right. But he does feel like a guy that defensively fits perfect next to Domas, and it feels really, really hard to find those guys. Now, I'd be shocked if they did a move like that, but it definitely stands out when he's on that list. And same with like Klingon is on the list. That one doesn't make sense to me. The recent rumors with Jared Allen and Jonas Valanciunas, we had this same thing with Clint Capella last offseason. The bigs don't make sense to me, to be honest, but Sarr is one where I can see it next to Domas.
I don't know if you can do it quickly, but I mean, what are your thoughts on Zach Edey too? It seems like he's a really, really polarizing figure, and it feels like, as polarizing figures tend to be, you're either very much in on I don't get what people are or they're over analyzing the movement, or I think there's a lot of people, and I've even after I've watched a good bit of Zach Edey film, I just can't get over the movement. Like, I see all the scoring, I see everything, I see the rebounding. To me, it's just a one, almost like a one issue candidate. I can't get over the fact that I don't think he's going to be able to withstand the mobility of the NBA.
Yeah, and I don't like, people love his post scoring. It's a big part of his game. I don't like. Are we sure that's going to happen in the NBA? Like, I feel like
It didn't happen against Edie.
Yeah, like
against Klingon.
Yeah,
against
like
Klingon.
I don't really know that you want to go to that. Like, is he a Walker Kessler or is he a Luka Garza? You know, and like
I've
the
heard a lot
answer's
of best
probably
case
somewhere in
Valanciunas.
between. Like, yeah, that's fine. I don't, for the Kings, like I don't think they should be interested in Valanciunas in the first place, just opportunity cost wise. From a Kings perspective, I don't think Edie makes any sense personally, and I probably would not have him as a lottery guy. But like, I could see a team selling themselves on him.
Yeah,
you know, but still, like Sar, Klingon, I think should definitely be above that. Even like Tristan Da Silva, a little bit more of a 4, but I think he should be above him.
Why aren't you saying Tajon?
Tajon? I gotta educate myself more. And I will admit, I haven't gotten to my overseas basketball too much. I was had a little NBL. Do love some overseas ball though. It's always a good time.
What's going on in France?
What's going on in France?
Yeah.
The Olympics coming up.
Yeah,
soon.
you know, that's really it. Probably some escargot somewhere.
I mean, this revolution that's happened.
It's true. Top 2 in all defense votes, Wemby and Gobert.
There you go. All right. Thank you so much, Brendan Nunez. Nate is saying we got to get out of here. So we will take a quick one. When we return, continuing the conversation, we go around the world of sports. The Indiana Fever almost get a W as the players are getting bullied a little bit, and a very bizarre story coming out of NCAA football with a Georgia QB and a Florida head coach. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Tuesday, we're staring at plenty of sunshine. Temperatures today will feel noticeably warmer. Highs will peak in the upper 80s. Expect overnight lows in the 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Dawn or dusk, I'm on the hunt. Skeeter here, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District, and I'm wearing Skeeter Vision, night vision goggles that light up skeeters at dawn or dusk like the 4th of July. Mosquito, 12 o'clock. Got him. So fight the bite by wearing long sleeves and pants at dawn or dusk when they're most active. Apply insect repellent and drain stagnant water. It's a breeding ground.
Dawn or dusk, the Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you to fight the bite. For more information or to report problems, go to fightthebite.net.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com. Sponsored by Xfinity. Enjoy the entertainment you love with the Xfinity Stream app. Turn any screen into a TV and take the entertainment you love wherever you go. Xfinity, we connect you to more of what you love.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. You'll save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, to sofas, to sectionals, to dining rooms, to bedrooms, to home offices, and so much more. Everything is on sale right now at Naturewood Home Furnishings Memorial Day sale. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, it's all available for you at savings from 10 to 25% at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishing, off Highway 50 in Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT 5.3 liter in stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive, all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. N6324.
Right now, while you're sitting on the couch or just driving around, your friends are at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range powered by Top Tracer. The vibe is perfect, whether you're an accomplished player or a newbie. Play a variety of fun games, play Pebble Beach, or compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range. Hungry? The Hangout Food Truck offers burgers, chicken strips, and more. Check the summer-long free concert schedule. Be a part of the fun at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway, open until midnight.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Live and local. Live and local. This is Sactown Sports.
Thanks to Brendan Nunez for dropping by. Brendan, last week, he just had tacos. He just had tacos when we left the show, and he said, hey, do you guys want some tacos? I said, yeah, I want some tacos.
You're saying wild things today. The toes thing.
I just appreciate him bringing in tacos.
Especially extras.
Yeah. Was it from somewhere?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to say where. I didn't know.
Yes, they were from somewhere.
No,
Okay.
not like your homemade burritos, Nate.
What's wrong with that?
Well, you just are,
I meal prep.
Yeah.
That I'm trying to be
Think you're
frugal
better than us?
because I don't make enough money, maybe.
Yeah.
So I have to organize my food.
Hey,
I don't know.
Chris is done with us today.
Yeah, I know.
I think
Chris is trying to DoorDash
We've
right now.
been talking to Carmichael Dave way too much. So this is a bizarre
Take your hot
story.
plate,
Dave, take your hot plate. Maybe Nate can make a meal on
Yeah.
the hot plate. for
Maybe
lunch.
it's crazy. We're just putting stuff on the hot plate. If that gets bumped and turned on, what's crazy? Me and Chris realized this last week. If that goes off, there's sprinklers all over the studio. So if that goes off,
I think there's 4 different
It's
sprinklers
over.
in here.
and there's a burn,
It would be
It's over.
cooked. We have no ventilation in here.
No, the whole place is getting
The
wet.
whole place.
Like
All
drenched.
this equipment.
Yeah.
And Dave's going to say, like, it's like Isaiah Thomas when they said, I just wanted a Frosty.
Yeah.
And Dave's going to be like,
Could you
I just
imagine?
wanted biscuits and
I
gravy.
just wanted biscuits.
I'm sorry,
Dave,
I just wanted a Frosty.
You had that ready to
Bro, I'm ready to go.
It's a great
Eat
okay.
potatoes.
All right.
Oh, now you're mad.
You're just going
Yeah.
through.
Those are my favorites.
Chris, so what is going on with this Georgia QB?
Dude, I'm trying to figure this out. This is the strangest thing that hit my timeline. just even like the headline itself here. This is from CBS News, or I'm sorry, CBS Sports. Georgia QB Jaden Rashada sues Florida head coach Billy Napier, among others, over botched $13.85 million NIL deal. And this sounds like one of those things that is going to become a commonplace story when we talk about what happens in the NIL and all these things. Let's see here. This is again from CBS Radio. Georgia quarterback Jaden Rashada has filed a lawsuit against Florida and Top Gator booster Hugh Hatchcock for former Florida staffer over a failed name, image, and likeness deal that would have paid the quarterback $13 million. Filed a lawsuit on Tuesday. The bombshell lawsuit, which features an unprecedented action of an active SEC quarterback suing a sitting rival head coach, is the most notable NIL-related lawsuit to date. In the complaint filed, details a number of counts alleging Napier, Hatchcock, and others fraudulently induced Rashada, then a highly regarded high school quarterback prospect, to attend Florida with no intention of following through on their financial promises. Specifically, the lawsuit claims fraudulent misrepresentation and inducement, aiding and abetting fraud, civil conspiracy to commit fraud, negligent misrepresentation, torturous interference with a business relationship or contract, and aiding and abetting in torturous interference. So essentially what this is it sounds like a meeting was had with this quarterback when he was still a prospect with Florida, with some boosters and with some staffers, in which essentially they said, hey, we have some sort of NIL deal with what I would assume would be one of the bigger companies to pay this kid $13 million. And I don't know how they eventually proved that there was no actual intention of giving it to him. But essentially, I mean, that's what this story is saying that, there was a $13 million deal that just was never actually going to come through.
And he is since now.
It was an automotive company as well. And Velocity Automotive.
So he didn't get the money, transfers, and now I'm suing you.
Essentially, yes. He committed to play, at the crux of the argument, actions, Hatchcock and his company, Velocity Automotive, as well as Castro Walker, convincing Rashada to eschew a previously agreed upon $9.5 million NIL deal to attend Miami in favor of Florida. Rashada committed to play at Miami in June 2022 under the terms of that deal, but the lawsuit alleges that Florida employees and boosters never backed off in their pursuit of the talent from California. So I didn't even know he was a California resident as well. To sway Rashada's decision, they offered him $13.85 million with a $5.35 million signing bonus as well to come through Velocity Automotive Company and through Gator Guard, the NIL collective that he started.
What a mess.
Yeah. This is, again, I would just suspect that this is going to be, I don't want to say commonplace, but I would very much doubt that this is going to be the last time we hear about some sort of potential deal and, oh, yeah, we have the money, and then the recruit comes, and then maybe those deals never come to fruition, or maybe the exact dollar figure that was agreed upon probably never comes, or it'll be in installments, or it'll all be paid out after you leave the university, or things like that. These big companies, these adults are always going to try and figure out how to essentially scam these kids.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, okay, this is a huge deal, so it makes sense. The one thing you hear about lawsuits, and we all have somebody, we all know a friend that got laid off, or a friend's parent who got laid off, and they claim there was some wrongdoing, and now they're going to sue. And when it comes time to sue, it's so expensive with the lawyers and things like that. It just doesn't end up ever happening, right? So I would say that this is such a big deal. Rashada was able to make it make sense to sue for. If these deals that are under $1 million, right? And they're telling you, oh, you're going to get $50K,
right?
And then you end up only getting 30 or whatever. These kids don't have the means to sue for that.
No.
I mean, anything. I mean, this is a ridiculous amount of money. So these smaller deals, I think these kids are probably not getting what they've been promised multiple times. Because I think in the back of these boosters' heads and everything, they want to win, but they still don't think you should be making any money. So they don't have your best interest.
Yeah, and from what I'm also seeing here, a big part of the lawsuit is that, like I said, he had initially committed to Miami before Florida continued to try and do the full court press on getting this kid over there. And I guess he's saying when he decommitted from Miami, he also lost a $9.5 million NIL deal with Miami.
Right.
And so it's not just about the money that they promised. It's also about the fact that, okay, you promised me and put myself at risk I lost money straight up out of my pocket, all because essentially you guys were sending me false promises. So
yeah,
it's a mess. I mean, this is kind of where the NCAA almost might need to I don't know really what it would be, but they need some sort of governing body to try and just specifically when it comes to the NIL, like they need to have some sort of governing body that approves all of these things and makes sure that everything is, tried to be done as above board as possible. It just feels like all of this stuff we're still kind of in the Wild West of it.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be completely different in, I would even say, the next 5 years,
right?
And then the next 10 years. So this thing is a living, breathing thing. And I feel bad for some of the kids that aren't making the money that they should. And I know a lot of people feel like, hey, they were getting paid they were getting paid to go to school, or they were getting their tuition paid. I think we can just move past that. If that's going to be your take, then that's always going to be your take. But when you look at the ridiculous amount of money that some of these schools are making and the coaches and things like that, everybody deserves a little piece of the pie. Well, we're going to get a little piece of the pie with Whitey Gleason from the Drive Guys, who's going to join us when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with installation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl. What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Go for the gold May 1st through July 27th during Sky River Casino's $1 million Road to Glory giveaway. Play daily for a chance to win free play, cash, or your choice of a Lincoln Nautilus, GMC Sierra, or Ford Mustang GT every Saturday. Get 100 bonus entries by earning 100 tier credits every Monday and Tuesday, plus 1 free daily entry at our promotional kiosks. Victory could be yours during the $1 million Road to Glory giveaway at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I've been rolling the past few months in my new Mercedes EQS electric SUV. My EQS is without a doubt the best looking fully electric SUV on the road. Friends tell me it's got the most stunning interior of any car they've ever ridden in. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They have redefined what top-notch customer service feels like. They are simply the best. A half hour from SAC, a short drive off the I-5 right at the 8 Mile Road exit. It's the best car buying experience you'll ever have, and it's always online at mbofstockton.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
I'm sorry, I just wanted a Frosty.
Sactown Sports. Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Victor Wembanyama, first ever rookie to make first team all defense.
Really? Wow. He deserves it. That's for sure. Makes sense to me.
You guys know you're on the air, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
That's right.
Allegedly.
Whitey Gleason joins us. Oh, yeah.
Felt like, wow, I sure brought the proceedings to a screeching halt.
That's
here.
right. That's right. Whitey.
Yes.
I got something for you, and maybe
thanks.
maybe you can help me with this, right?
Wait.
No,
it's
not that
for
kind
me.
of something.
How am I going to help you? Okay, go ahead.
All right, let's start here. The win probability charts.
Uh-huh.
What is the point of them? I don't understand what is, I guess, entertaining about them, right? So Sarah Langs did one, and to me, I'm just reading this as it must have been a walk-off, right? And it's I believe the Yankees with not a good chance to win, and then at the very end, which I'm assuming was some type of walk-off or something, skyrockets up to the top.
Yeah.
I just don't get the point of win probability.
I just don't think they do them right. They can't possibly be doing them right, because how many times does a team have a 95% chance to win and they lose and like, look, it's a miracle. It's
Right.
like, no, it's not a miracle. You're doing it wrong.
Right.
You don't know what you're doing.
I guess that would be the only point of it, is to show how improbable the win is. But I
Right.
guess if it ends up being an 8-0 win, then yeah, I mean, the win probability said what everybody knew. They were dominating the whole game.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It goes.
It really only works for upsets, for big upsets.
But it just is it's just going based on if the game ends right now, they have this chance to. I just don't understand the point of it.
Yeah, I don't either.
No.
It's just people trying to show you how smart they are or
Right.
something. And the thing is, if a team's ahead 5-0 in the 5th inning, I don't know what the exact percentage is, but I know that they're probably going to win. Right. And I don't need a calculator. to tell me that.
Thank you. I never understood it. So
it's a nice looking graph, though. It always is nice when you see like, oh, it's low, low, low. Oh my God!
Well,
it just randomly.
She goes, you're when your team is way behind, and it's kind of fun after the fact when your team's way behind and then they win.
Yeah, like it's like wee.
Yeah, I mean those are kind of fun when your team rallies, but
it's not fun to me.
Who's your team?
Any team.
Oh, okay.
It just doesn't do anything for me.
Well, then don't. There's also you don't have to look at it.
I
thought of
guess
that.
right.
That's what I have for you. You
guess
said
you're right.
Can you help me? That's
just
how
turn
I
off
try
the
to help you.
computer.
That's true. Well, I'm definitely not doing that. Whitey, we got to a point yesterday because somebody was saying that earlier the show when somebody was saying that the Nuggets are in an interesting spot where they can run it back, but they're paying Michael Porter Jr. a decent bit of money, more than more than you would probably expect, but they're paying him $34 million. Then by the time he's done, he'll be making $40 million his last season in 3 years. So he goes up to 38 after that. Chris and I were trying to figure out the value of Michael Porter Jr.
You were trying to trade Keegan for Michael Porter Jr.
I asked the question.
Luckily, you've got Chris here.
I wouldn't do that
to
deal.
maintain a sense of stability and sanity.
I wouldn't do that deal, but I just asked Chris if he would.
That's right.
And then I asked Brendan.
Yes.
And now I'm asking you.
What cracks me up is people look at Denver and go, oh, you should try to build your team that way. Well, let's look at that. They got the best player in the world with the 41st pick.
Yeah.
Good luck doing that.
Right.
Then they got Michael Porter Jr., who was maybe going to be the number 1 pick, but he wasn't because he was hurt.
Yeah.
They got him at 14 and he recovered. Well, good luck doing that. Then they got Aaron Gordon for like a first-round pick and a bag of chips or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, follow that model.
Well, the Kings are trying. They're trying to. They keep talking about it.
After all that, not to meme Karl Anthony Towns here. After all that, they have 1 ring. They lost in the second round this year.
So but 1 ring's pretty good, Alan.
And I'm just saying, you can get everything right and be a model, and that's how hard it is to be great in this league year after year after year. There's always somebody. And now, after everything that they did to build that, you have Jokic, who comes on during the post-game presser and says, the T-Wolves are built to beat us. So as quickly as they built themselves up, their foe built up a version that could beat them.
Yeah,
it's
but
crazy.
that's a myth that Minnesota beat Denver by building a team to beat them. Because when they built that team, when Minnesota built that team, Denver wasn't very good yet.
Yeah,
so it's easy to go, oh, they built that team to beat us. But when you go and back and look, why would you?
2 years ago.
Yeah, Denver was coming off they were a 6 seed.
Yeah,
but that was because Jamal Murray was injured.
Yeah, but they weren't
season
specifically thinking Denver's going to be up there. We need to build a team that's going to take out
I'm just telling
Denver.
you what Jokic said.
Yeah, no,
I
said it.
I know he said it, and he's not the first one to say that. But when you look at it, Jerry Reynolds is the one that pointed out to me. Because I said, "Hey, how about this?" And he goes, "That's stupid."
Jerry,
Jerry,
he's going to be on today, and so is Matt Barnes.
Really?
And so is Keith Pompey.
Wow.
I was going to ask him about DeAnthony Melton.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a name that has been circulating King circles for a very, very long time.
You like him, don't you?
Yeah. He's a really, really solid combo guard for sure.
Coming off a spinal thing.
I'd be interested to know what his value is for sure. I mean, he's somebody who I think makes sense for this roster. Somebody who defensive minded, but can, hold the ball in his hand a bit and, do some guard things.
I pointed because I thought you really liked him.
Yeah, no. He's somebody that I definitely like as a player. I haven't given him much thought to adding him this offseason. I know he's a free agent, but that was kind of off an assumption that I know Philly has a ton of money and I would assume they would try and keep it.
And we're also going to ask Keith Pompey about a guy that a lot of Kings fans really drool over, and I just don't quite see it. Kelly Oubre.
Oh, yeah.
People get really excited about him, and I don't, but we'll ask a guy who knows his game about as well as anybody.
I wonder what Tobias Harris's value is, too, because I know he's a free agent, and they did not enjoy the Tobias Harris experience in Philadelphia at all. Whitey, I don't know if you saw the defensive teams release, did you? Do you have any problem with De'Aaron not being on the second team All-NBA and leading the NBA in steals?
No, but I thought it was cool that he and Domas got some mentions.
Kind of. Yeah. They got some votes. They got some late votes. I don't know who.
I mean, Domas getting all of a sudden
defensive player of the year
for his defense. It's like, well, okay.
Defensive team. Yeah, it's interesting. And I mean, I don't know if you saw too, but 4 of the 5 of the first team all defense are all bigs. Did you read anything into that? Do you think we had a conversation about like overvaluing blocks and why, you know, if somebody leads Rudy Gobert, Wemby, all these guys leading the leagues in blocks or leading the league in blocks, it feels like are almost guaranteed to get one of those first 2 spots. If, you know, if you lead the league in blocks and aren't on one of the first 2 teams, I feel like people are going to bring it up. And yet the 2 guys who led the NBA in steals, both of them, Shea and De'Aaron, both didn't make all NBA. I don't know if there's just a overvaluation of blocks, or even I'd propose like maybe do all defensive big men versus all defensive guards, because the entire second team was all guards.
Yeah, it's dumb. They changed that just this year, right? And it also applies, I think, to all league.
Positionally they changed it.
Yeah, it would be like if you had your all NFL defense and there's all, you know, edge rushers and linebackers.
Yes, exactly.
Because they have the most tackles and the most sacks.
Right.
It's just dumb.
Yeah, I'm looking here. You got Shea with the steals per game, De'Aaron, Shea, then Matisse Thybulle, then Alex Caruso, then Kawhi Leonard, then Paul George, DeJounte Murray. Then you get Luka and Jalen Suggs, Dyson Daniels, who's another up-and-coming defender. So at least everybody on the list is known as a defensive player besides Luka.
You're talking about on the steals list?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
So
but if you do the
not,
blocks list, I guarantee everybody who leads the league, the first 6 or 7 names, I guarantee all of those guys were 4 of them at least were all NBA or were first team all D.
Yeah. I mean, initially looking here, and this is on StatMuse blocks per game. Yeah, I mean, Wemby was just on another level. But then you had Jaren Jackson Jr., Scotty Barnes. So it gets a little squirrely.
Jaren Jackson Sr. must have been a stud. Am I right? If Junior's doing what he's doing, I don't want to drive the lane against Senior.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Righty, what else is on the show?
Isn't that enough?
No. We need more.
Well, we're going to celebrate the fact that it was on this date in 1998 that the Sacramento Kings traded Otis Thorpe and Mitch Richmond for Chris Webber.
Wow.
And changed the
everything.
direction of the franchise.
Yeah. Chris Webber cried on the plane ride here, allegedly. And
I think of that every time I land at Sac International. Coming in and you look at the pastures and think, I think of him like, wow. He looked out the window and he's like, oh no.
It's like my
Poor
career
guy.
is over.
Yeah.
He sent me to hell.
Not just a little cow town anymore, though.
That's right.
Lots of talent Styles around.
Well, that's also true. That's also true. Things have been quite spicy. There you go. Well, thank you to Brendan Nunez. Thank you to Nate Littlefield. Thank you to all the callers, texters, the Sac Chat. Until tomorrow, you will be joined by the Drive Guys coming up next. But until tomorrow, secure the bag, light the beam.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sactown Sports.
Spins away from the defender in the paint. Soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, Sacramento. It's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant